Kickoff end over end. Berrios gets it just inside the end zone. He's got some steam. He's got a hole past the 30. He is off to the races. Braxton Berrios. Nobody in front of him. Berrios is going to score. Braxton Berrios. No flags on the play.
I woke up this morning, got myself done. Mama always said I'd be there.
Play action, bootleg out to the right. He's got room to run. Setting up, looking downfield. He's going to heave a bomb for Corey Davis at the goal line. Into the end zone. He's got it! That's a Jet touchdown! Zach Wilson unloads from 53 yards to Corey Davis. And the Jets have the lead back.
Never told about right and wrong, but I'm looking good, baby. I believe that I'm feeling fine. I was born under a bad sign, blue moon in my eyes, so help me now. I got a blue moon in my eyes, Dwayne. So sad, Larry. What you got? Goddamn shame.
That's what I told my dad yesterday when I was watching the game. I was like, these refs are blowing calls, not on a small play, not something minor, but it's every big play, every opportunity they had to kind of fuck the Jets. I feel like they jumped at like that holding call. We were at the 5-yard line. Before you know it, we're kicking a fucking 57-yard field goal. That thank God he made it. But I don't know. There was just that pass interference call at the end. He touched him, but like I don't know, bro. There's just the ticky tack calls. It was just horrible, and it sucks because the NFL doesn't hold these refs accountable. They can continue to fucking blow calls, and guess what? They're gonna be back on their fucking work schedule the next week. And it sucks, but thankfully we were able to overcome the Browns and the refs at the same time. But yeah, now it's a fucking insane win. Good, very good team win, and every player that we were bashing last week we're all the biggest fans of, like, besides Joyner, because Joyner still sucks. But Brandon Mann had a fantastic game, pinned him within their 5-yard line a few times. The onside kick. Joe Flacco, 300 yards, 4 touchdowns. Like, this was an insane team win. Breece Hall played well. He got his first touchdown. Michael Carter played well. Michael Carter always falls forward. This is just – and Tyler Conklin played. Like he had his mishaps too. He needs to clean that up. But overall, fantastic team win. And this is just insane. I don't know what it is to win in September. So this is wild.
And Benny, just to go off your point, like what I saw too is, remember that sweep Breece Hall had on the left side? And he had such a burst of speed, and then that guy just caught him at the end. Not caught him, but he dragged him down real quick. Breece Hall is going to break one in a couple of games. He's going to break one. And Michael Carter, I don't know how he does it, but he just always eludes tackles. He's incredible. And I think drafting Breece Hall was good for Michael Carter because he's been really good. You know, Michael Carter stepped up his game. It gave him competition. So Michael Carter's not finished by any stretch. So we have some nice young pieces here, guys. We really do. Now we have to develop them. The key is Zach. If we could get Flacco's play out of Zach yesterday, we'd all be jumping for joy. So the one thing that'll help, I think, too, is Zach's elusiveness in the pocket, that he can move. That's going to create other things too, because Garrett Wilson's going to be running around. So is Elijah Moore. And that's going to, these off script plays are going to work with these two guys. And even Davis, I mean, everybody killed him too. I heard people last week, oh, cut Davis during the game. No. The guy's is serviceable. Listen, he's not going to be that guy we want him to be for the money, but the guy could play. He's had some nice long touchdowns with the Jets.
Yeah, I personally love Davis. I mean, I thought he got a bad rap for just that one drop in week 1. And, you know, the receiving core is so young. You need somebody like him to kind of to mentor these guys. And when you look at his contract, it's really not crazy when you compare it to someone like Tyreek, who's making $50 million a year at the end of his deal. Granted, they're going to probably cut him before that, but with the increase in the market this past offseason, Davis's contract's really not absurd.
Nah, Davis is gonna stay. That whole Trade Davis stuff it makes no sense. He's a legitimate wide receiver 3 on his team, and that's where he's best suited, and it's fine. I don't get the obsession of having to trade guys that we finally have talent on this team. Why trade them? It is what it is. But go ahead, Mark.
Only thing, so Tyler Conklin needs to learn to secure the football. All right, 2 punch outs in 2 weeks. He needs to secure the ball. I know he knows that, but this guy should be after practice getting it kicked out of him if you follow. Learn to secure the damn ball because that's a clutch. He needs to do that. All that said, the list of players who contributed in this win is too long to count. And I don't want to sound like defense with the 17 upgrades, but I'm telling you right now, this is a team victory. The onside kick, Garrett Wilson looking like a superstar. Like I said, Corey Davis, who had to put up with a lot. Grandpa Joe Flacco, who had to put up with a lot all week long. The coaching staff. I mean, they were in this game. They played 4 full quarters of football from whistle to whistle. That matters. They never let up. And let me tell you something. Poorly coached football teams let up in games. All right? Poorly coached ones do. This team never gave up. So everyone coming for Bobby Salad's head, I hope you're having a nice Caesar salad this morning because they're ready, dude. This team is well coached. They have talent. They can win football games.
Hey, Mark, I'm going to throw some Boricua in here and Benny. Mark, dímelo. Dímelo.
I'm telling you, man. The sad sack. Oh, fire everybody. Come on, man. Come on. Watch the football game, will you please? You can see it on the field. I talk to fans outside of this fan base, and I get more positivity from the other fans than I get inside our own house. All right, we got to start looking at this. We got to start to believe and at least see what's happening on the field. You can see it.
Then you see at the end of the game, Quincy Williams hugging Salah, but he's hated. They don't play. He's hated, bro. He should be gone, right? But yet somebody's hugging him. Get out of here.
The receipts comment, Petey, went over like a lead balloon. Oh, receipts. We're talking about, you know what?
Poor me.
Oh.
You know what? Maybe it's good they fucking told Garrett Wilson he should have went upfield because look at the game he had. Maybe that helped him. He's probably like, fuck this. I don't want coach to be mad at me. I'm a show coach now and perform for coach because that's what I would have did. But most fans are not athletically inclined to even play football. So I'm not going to get in. I don't want to start insulting.
I'm gonna say this, Mark. You're totally right. I was one of these people last week that I wasn't off the solid train in the slightest, but I was upset because I thought the game plan was weak. I felt like we weren't our defense came in prepared, but our offense was totally behind the 8 ball, and I feel like we didn't play to win. I'm gonna say this. He shut me up for this week. Point blank, period. No one's talking about this, but the fact that he went for it, we had that fake punt that we got the first down, and I'm pretty sure we ended up getting points out of that drive. That right there shows me, okay, I'm playing to win this game. I'm getting aggressive. My team needs a spark, and we got the fucking first down off a fake punt. Shout out Brandon Mann for delivering a dime to Jeff Smith. But plays like that is exciting. And listen, I give Coach his flowers. He did everything he needed to do. He showed guts this game, and he showed fight. And I'm going to say this too. During my interview with Tyler a few weeks ago, he mentioned it. I was like, what should we expect to see out of this team moving forward? Because in years past, there's this team, when we're down, quits, and we look forward into the next week. And then before you know it, the season's over. He said it that this team is going to 100% give it all to the last whistle, and that there's going to be no quit in this team. And that's exactly what I saw yesterday. We were down with less than 2 minutes to go, and we go out and Garrett Wilson said it in his interview. Robert Saleh said it in his interview. Chubb scored, and they're like, "Oh shit, we could win this game now." Like that's a mentality. Like, okay, we're down. Everyone else thinks it's a loss. You see all these media networks posting, the Browns are finally 2-0 for the first time since 19, whatever the fuck. And we go out there and completely change the narrative. I was one of these people who's tweeting, "Oh, this game is over." I know U Stadium is down there. They tweeted it was over. And they completely shut us up. They fought to the literal last whistle. And shout out to all the guys who literally were getting written off just a week ago and completely showed up and showed why they're on this roster now. And Will Parks is the one who delivered the hit on that onside kick to give us a chance before I forgot who recovered it. But I remember Amari Cooper was about to recover it, and Will Parks blew him the hell up. So shout out Will Parks. He should stay on this roster, and Joyner should not, because Joyner, again, he missed the tackle to allow Chubb to score. So that's a great thing, but he just sucks. That's one of the negatives that we're gonna eventually get into, because we can't. There's a lot of things that need to be cleaned up. But Will Parks, you suck. I mean, Will Parks, you're the man. Joyner, you suck.
Hey, buddy, I want to look back before I look forward. So against the Ravens, afterwards, I was really pissed at Mike LaFleur personally. And he came out with this stupid 13 personnel. He tried to get fucking cute, and they tried to run the ball big, and Lawrence Cager and all that crap. We don't have to go back there, but he realized Garrett Wilson needed to be on the field. So what did he do this week? This week, I think they ran that like package like once. Like, I don't know. I think it was like, I think they said 6 or 7 times. It was very like the percentage was like 9 or 10%. And I think the 3 wide receivers set the 11 personnel, which we scored, I think, 3 of our 4 touchdowns with. He ran it like 66% of the time. So, like, he made an adjustment from, the overreaction of week 1, where I think we gave the Ravens too much respect. I mean, Miami just put almost a 50 burger on them. And he made an adjustment this week. That kid, Garrett Wilson, shined. Now going forward, we know that our cream of the crop, our creme de la creme is going to be that 3 receiver. Corey Davis, Garrett Wilson, and Elijah Moore need to be on the field, and they need to be on the field a lot. And that's going to scare a lot of fucking teams. And that's the first time in a long time we can say that we got enough weapons where we're going to scare a lot of teams. Because listen, we can the Browns, LOL. The Browns have a great defensive unit, and we scored 14 points in 90 seconds. So, like, if you don't buckle up your chin strap or you're not ready, the Jets are going to come in there and slap the shit out of you. We have the actual offensive weapons to be able to do that.
You're right, and I think that's something to look out for. Obviously, the whole season we're going to be a ground and pound team, and then we're gonna live off the play action and create big plays that way. Occasionally taking the top off the defense, stuff like that. And I know it's only 2 games; there's still a lot of games to go. But what you said it. What's been working is when we have those 3 wide receiver sets out there, and Elijah Moore said it in an interview after one of the practices, like I think a little over a month ago, probably. And he said it. He was like, "There's no reason why teams should be able to cover all 3 of us," meaning Elijah, Garrett, and Corey, and even Braxton if you want to throw him in there. But I don't know. That has seemed to work. We have been able to move the ball down the field effectively when we have those 3 wide receiver sets, and that's something we definitely need to keep going to. Definitely. In this league, you got to put up points. You're not winning many games putting up fucking 14 points and running the ball 100 times, unless you're the Titans, and they suck. So it is what it is. Yo, JoJo, what's good, bro? What's good, JoJo? Talk to me.
Oh, I'm good. I'm staying quiet, bro, because people don't only want to hear me. So I'm just gonna.
I want to hear you, bro. Talk.
Listen, I said it last night in the space. I think the defense looked like complete shit besides Sauce and DJ Reed. They have to work on that tremendously. Okay. The linebackers were completely lost that game, like completely lost. This inferior defensive line, I haven't seen shit from it yet. I'm not impressed at all. Not impressed. Okay, we have like 2 sacks in 2 games, like 5 pressures, I think, in 2 games. So on the defensive side, I'm not impressed. Just besides Sauce and DJ Reed. Offensive side, yesterday, I mean, listen, people are going to hate me for this. The game was given to us. It is what it is. I'll take the W. They executed well when they got the ball. It happens. It's part of the game. It happens. And, I want to see them run the ball more, man. Like, I don't understand why they don't run the fucking ball more. It's crazy. It's we run the ball really, really well, and it's just they just don't want to run the ball. It's like they constantly want to keep throwing. I know we got the playmakers, but when you run the ball really well with these guys, those playmakers will be even more open, because they're gonna protect that run. So, I mean, I was okay with the win. I'm not impressed. I'm okay with the win. I gotta see next week. Next week is a big game. That's the game I need to see. You got to get the 2 in a row. You got to see Wilson. It's gonna be tough. Wilson's first game back if he plays. And go from there and see what happens. But that defense got to get better, man. That defense looks like shit. I don't know about you guys, but it does not look good at all.
Nah, you're right. That game was in a way given to us through fucking horrible coaching, and those players on that defensive side of the ball were fucking god awful. Jacoby Brissett finally showed why he's fucking Jacoby Brissett.
They took advantage and executed what they had to do, man. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
Right? I was talking to Nikki from U Stadium, about it, and it's just Flacco played good. He played good. He played like the guy who's supposed to step up and do what he has to do, right? The numbers a little bit fluff because of that blown coverage shit and everything like that, but he played well what he was supposed to do. So, I don't know what's happening next week, but if Wilson comes in, I wonder how this team's gonna play, because it's like his first time on the field, and they got 2 weeks in with Flacco. So it's kind of like, are they going to have a good transition, or are they going to have something that's going to, regress a little bit? So it's going to be interesting to see next week. But the good thing is that the Bengals are kind of on tilt a little bit. But
you know what, though, Jojo, just to jump in, Benny, for 1 second. I get the defense. Look, listen, it's like you can't even say anything. We also have to take into account, though, that somebody else said this. I don't remember who it was, so I'm not going to try to take credit. The Browns do have like a top 5 offensive line. Like, let's not also like
jokes. They had 2 of their starting guys not playing.
They had Conklin. Conklin was the only one that wasn't playing.
No, there was somebody else that wasn't playing too.
So, I get it. They need more. They need to pressure more. And he also like ran around and like did unathletic guy shouldn't have been able to square it out on their trying to win game-winning drive and like run the ball for like 20 yards. I get what you're saying. I was more pissed that they were allowing him to complete so many passes. The running game is the running game. Eventually, that team's going to wear you down. And they did that in the 4th quarter. Like, they just kept running, and we got tired. I get that. I'm more concerned with our pass defense. Enough with this bullshit zone, soft coverage. You're paying DJ Reed X amount of dollars, and you drafted Sauce in the 4th overall. Can we start manning people up? Like, can we stop with this soft zone bullshit, especially when we're fucking they're in the red zone? Like, can we plaster people and stop with this fucking off-ball bullshit? That's what's pissing me off. And I agree with you, JoJo. Other than Sauce and DJ Reed and Eccles came in and had a huge play when they forced them forced them to a field goal. Whitehead was kind of non-existent, and LaMarcus Joyner is who he is. We need to start manning people up. That's why we got these guys.
No, you're right. There's running that zone shit when they were at like the freaking 4-yard line, and he ran like the simplest slant route and was open by like a mile and a half. Like that makes no sense. Man up, take him out the freaking game, and Amari Cooper played way better than he probably should have because we were running that soft zone. And when we play man, we're a lot better of a defense. But JoJo is right. I forgot the exact number. I think we're ranked 5th. Like we're paying the 5th most or something like that to the defensive line in the whole league. And the fact that we have yet to get to the quarterback, granted, I gave it a pass last week because it's Lamar Jackson. It's more about containing him than bringing him to the floor. Cool. I get that. But going into this week, not being able to even sniff Jacoby Brissett was kind of worrisome. You're lucky Jacoby Brissett isn't a fantastic quarterback because you give one of these top quarterbacks that much time, they're going to beat you for 50-yard gains practically every time. So I don't know. Carl Lawson, I haven't seen him. Like I know he had the half a sack. It was cool. It was like an extra effort sack. It is that's cool. He finally got that out of the way. But that explosiveness from Carl Lawson, I have yet to see. Quinnen, he's been making plays. He played really well week 1. Kind of went down week 2, but I know he's probably been more of like focused on stopping the run and whatnot, and not pinning his ears back. But I haven't seen that total, like I don't know. JFM been kind of quiet.
Benny, I don't know if you guys watch Carlos. I actually for 2 or 3 series in a row, I actually just wanted to focus on Carl Lawson. Why is this dude bull rushing people?
He does a lot of bull rushing.
Well, why? It does not work.
He's too slow.
Yeah, dude. He's not that type of guy. He's the guy you set, and he sets 3, 4 feet off the edge. What the fuck is he doing on that defense? I don't understand. It's crazy how I see something. The only person I see that actually getting to the quarterback or somewhere near the quarterback is Clemens, man. Clemens is the only guy I've seen probably 4 or 5 times near the quarterback getting there. It's like Tom Thomas doesn't exist. John Franklin Myers, I don't know that guy. He's a good chaser. I give him that. He could chase the quarterback, but dude, this team needs pressure up front, and it's not getting it. They need to freaking do it, man. And it's just and the teams that we're playing coming up, their lines are just as good.
Joe,
I mean,
Benny,
not
let's get the
the
ground and pound.
Yeah, get the ground
and punt. Ground and sorry, bro. Just he's got his hand up. What's up, ground and punt?
Yeah, I understand what people are saying. Like the Browns, their quotes are gave us the win. I mean, from the standpoint, I guess, of Chubb running in that touchdown, I guess you could say that. But you got to give credit to the Jets for stepping into the game. Come on. You got to give them credit for staying into the game. I mean, if these were the Sam Donald Jets, or even if Zach Wilson is playing, if they're down 30-17, I think the game's over. So they played to the last snap, and you got to give them credit for that. And I would say more like the Jets robbed them rather than they gave, because we also got screwed on a couple of penalty calls too, 3 or 4 of them, which was pretty egregious at the time that they called the penalties. And hey, sorry, walk for my dog. Yeah, I mean the defense though, 100% on point with that. The Browns move the ball at will. I mean, their third down percentage, I don't know what it was, but it felt like their third down percentage was what did they have, 1 punt the whole game or something? They did whatever they wanted on this team. And not everything was zoned. The touchdown to Cooper was zoned, but there was a lot of plays where Sauce was guarding Cooper, and Brissett was going right after Sauce, and I hope this was a growing moment for Sauce.
I mean, yeah, he definitely went after Sauce a little bit, and I think it's good. Like the fact that people weren't throwing at him wasn't necessarily like the best thing in the world. You know, he gets targeted. He knows what it is. Granted, last week they didn't have no true, really good wide receiver. Amari Cooper still a pretty solid wide receiver. But yeah, that defensive line has been pretty unimpressive to this point. And we're playing Cincinnati, who has allowed Joe Burrow through 2 games to get absolutely murdered. Like their offensive line is barely improved from last year. We were able to totally destroy that offensive line last year. And this defensive line needs to show me that they can consistently get pressure versus at least a pretty weak offensive line next week. I need to see something out of Carl Lawson next week, JFM, Quinnen, Jermaine, like all these guys. Martin, like I don't know if I've ever seen Martin make a play really at this to this point. At this end, I keep it. I know we're trying to keep the good vibes going, but CJ, to me, CJ had a rough game yesterday. CJ, I didn't really see CJ making plays, and I was livid when an unathletic Jacoby Brissett shook CJ Mosley completely out of his socks. I was like, what are you doing? Like how are we letting this happen? Jacoby Brissett is doing whatever he wants to do. And we're genuinely lucky that Michael LaFleur and the offense brung their A game because our defense was stopping absolutely nobody.
Benny, all those linebackers look fucking shook in their boots, man. None of them were setting the edge. Every play was getting bounced to the outside. These fucking guys were just running galore on them, and they knew it too. You know, it's like you got to set that edge with those guys, man.
But Jojo, just to jump in here, excuse me. The fact of it, listen, you're right about that, but yeah, good one. Hey, that's the best thing you said all morning. But anyway, what you said, bro, Nick Chubb and the Browns have one of the best running teams in the NFL, man. Let's be real. So I can't kill the Jets for that. I mean, I get what you're saying, JoJo, but a win's a win, bro. I don't care how you do it.
I'm with you, but when you run the ball 37 times, okay, they ran the ball 37 times and still averaged 5 yards a carry.
Okay.
That's, to me, is disgusting.
Okay, it is disgusting, but what's more disgusting is what the Browns did to let the Jets back into the game. So I'm gonna take the lesser positive and turn that into a better positive, bro, because you can, a win's who cares how you win.
I'll take the win. I get it, but it was a very sloppy win, and you can't play sloppy going into the next 2 weeks, or it's crucial.
I agree, JoJo, but I don't think if the Jets do win this year more, which they're going to win more games, I don't know if we're going to ever have they're a young team. It's going to be ugly at some point.
And I don't know if sloppy is the right word, right? Because normally Myles Garrett just is a wrecking ball. And Fant didn't have the best game of his career, but he played him like respectfully. Like if Fant was to make the NFL top 100, I bet you Garrett would be on there saying that listen, this guy played me hard on a bum knee. And so like sloppy, they converted a fourth down, a fake punt fourth down with Braden Mann. They converted impeccably an onside kick. You got to give them credit for the execution. I don't know if sloppy is the right word. Maybe shaky here and there and a little bit of luck. Okay, I'll give you that. But sloppy? I mean, Joe Flacco didn't throw one interception.
Yeah, but we let the Browns with a backup quarterback put up a 30-burger on us. Let's not.
Yeah, so the defense
understood. Jokes.
That's all.
Understood.
That's all.
But jokes. I'm not even now that you could put it into it. I'm not gonna. The last touchdown technically was a gimme touchdown. So I'm not even gonna say it was stupid because that touchdown prevailed the Jets to. If the guy goes down, I don't know how many times we're gonna say it. Jokes. If Nick Chubb takes a knee, the game's over. There's no way the Jets could win. And he did the unthinkable. And it provided them to come back and win. There's no other explanation for that.
The reason why I say sloppy is because if you just look on the paper, right, at the end of the game, Jacoby Brissett threw for 80%. They ran the ball for 180 yards with 5 yards of carry. They were 9 for 12 on third downs. Like, on paper, it looks like the Jets were done. Like, done. That's what I'm saying. That's why it looks sloppy, because Joe Flacco, again, threw for 45 times, completed like 55%. Like, that's why I'm saying it looks sloppy on paper, because it's not, and some of those numbers are fluff too. Again, I'm not going to argue that or whatever if people want to hate me for it, but, to me, it looked like a sloppy game. That's what it was. It looked like a sloppy game. Like, I think we played better last week than we did this week, to be honest with you.
I don't think so. The defense, yes, but not the offense. Bro, the offense didn't convert a third down till like 8 minutes into the fourth quarter. Like that's inexcusable. It's beyond bad what the Jets offense did to the Jets defense last week was beyond brutal. And they hit a 57-yard field goal. I mean, holy shit. Like, when he hit that field goal, I was laughing. I've never laughed so hard in my life. I'm like, what is going on here, man? Like, listen, I get what you're saying. I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying, I don't know if sloppy is the word I would pick. Their defense was really bad. The defense was really, 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 really bad. I mean, like, they let the Browns pretty much do whatever. Like you just said, 9 of 12 on third down. Normally, you don't win those games. If a team is 9 of 12 on third down, you lose. And if those stats, you'll lose. Which is why
they got to clean up. And they got to clean up the penalties a little bit too. The fucking penalties were atrocious. I know some of them were, iffies, but they still got to clean some of those shits up too.
Guys, Benny, hold on 1 second. Guys, if you get rotated out, don't take it personal. There's some requests. We got to get other people in. We'll come back right to you. All right.
Real quick, PD. Also,
I'll go down.
Let's give some credit to Saleh, talking all this shit, all gas, no break, and he coached like it was all gas, no break yesterday, going for it on fourth down, and really pumping the guys up to execute. Normally, when the guys are going out for an onside kick, it's lollygagging. It's like, man, we ain't making this shit. There's no fucking way we're making this shit. How hard they've made it now, and they actually got it. It's like, what the hell? Listen, I get it. There was luck involved, but they played the whole game, which is something they normally do not do. It's a big step for the team, and I hope it's the first step.
Yeah, 100%. This is a win that could start to propel this team into like a different mentality. Oh shit! Granted, we got a few lucky bounces here, but we fought and it paid off. Now let's continue to build on it versus a shaky Cincinnati team who everyone thought was going to be the biggest and baddest thing in the NFL this year. And granted, it's only 2 games, but I've came out of the gate slow. So right now you kind of have to take advantage of that. They're scrambling. They're probably going to be pressing a little bit next week, trying to make things happen. And when they're pressing, if you could capitalize on those mistakes when you play a little bit tighter, and honestly, that's a game they're supposed to win. So they got more to lose, and we necessarily don't. If we lose versus Cincy, that's a game that's like, okay, they were just in the Super Bowl. They're supposed to win that game as long as we fight. But they got more to lose, so they're going to be pressing a little bit down 0-2, and I think we can capitalize on that. But let's definitely get to the hands real quick. I'm gonna go Joe, Mike, Jim, and we'll keep going around. So go ahead, Joe.
Hey, everybody. Good morning.
What's up, Joe? Good morning, brother.
It's a good feeling. It's a rare feeling these days, but it's a damn good one. So, a couple of points that JoJo was that I want to touch on. I agree. The defense. I don't know whether sloppy is the right word. They look like half a step slow, and that just intuition and my experience in the league tells me they're not fully confident in that defense yet, which is sad to say, but somewhat understandable. That this is their 19th game in the scheme, and they've still got some new players there. And let's give credit where credit's due. Cleveland called a hell of a game to keep the Jets off balance. They were attacking side to side. They were going up the middle. They were throwing short passes. Everything was 3 and 5 step drops. So unless the Jets were running stunts or blitzes, it was going to be really hard to get to Brissett most of yesterday. Now, I'm not using that as an excuse. I'm saying
Joe,
they've got to learn
point.
on this.
Joe, that's a great point, Joe.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're right. I mean, after the first quarter, I was like, they're going to have a real hard time getting pressure. And to be honest, the Jets were doing the same thing. It's why Clowney and Garrett couldn't get to Flacco most of the day, because it was basically like a mirror image game. At one point, even the announcers said it's like two teams that know each other really well going against each other. It's going to be really hard for one to beat the other.
Yep.
The Browns should have won it, but let's be honest, the Browns reverted back to the pumpkins that they are.
Hey, Joe, just to go off of that real quick.
Yeah.
I thought, everybody, we always cut on the Jets because it's our team, but I thought you're right. Cleveland did what they could. They didn't let Brissett did quick throws so the Jets couldn't get. I thought the Jets contained the run. Listen, the stats are going to say they didn't, but they held Chubb without big runs until the end of the game. They did a good job. And they didn't get blown out, and they had a chance at the end of the game, and it prevailed for them. So the game plan by the Jets coaches, in my eyes too, I thought they coached a well game. But fans are going to say
there was a couple times when I was hoping that they would have got a few more tackles for loss, because it was frustrating when they're getting 4 and 5 yards clip. But that is the best running team in football. So you're right, holding them to 4 or 5 yards for most carries is something to go like, hey, you know what? They actually had a decent game plan for this.
Yeah, I'm going to say this too. So they definitely have the best running attack. And Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, we know, is the best 1-2 punch in the league. And it's hard to bring those. There was a few times where it's like, oh, we got them for a loss. And they would still find a way to get freaking 5, 6. And that's where the frustration definitely builds from. But I from what I've seen, like obviously I didn't rewatch the game or anything like that. There were times where I feel like we were more focused on knocking the ball loose and punching the ball, doing stuff like that, rather than actually getting them down. It was like that was more the priority, trying to cause a game-changing play. Where sometimes it's warranted, but you can't necessarily do that. Like 4 or 5 guys doing the same thing. Like put a body on them, 2 people wrap up, and if the third person wants to come in and try to knock the ball loose, cool. But everyone was trying to knock the ball loose, and it was sloppy in that sense. The tackling was absolutely horrendous, and there was just too many times where we let even Jacoby Brissett shake loose when we should have had a sack. It's like, come on, Jacoby's not that athletic. He's not Joe Flacco back there, but come on, like he's right there, bring him down.
He's elusive though. The guy under Belichick was decent, and he had a good offensive line protecting him. And the Jets missed some tackles in the backfield, but I agree with you. But you got to give them credit too. They played a good game, the Browns.
No, they did.
So there's a lot of hands.
Yeah, it was Mike.
I don't know the rotation, so go ahead.
It was Mike first. Mike.
Good morning, gentlemen. Because I possibly impede because I'm supposed to be someplace else.
Annie, that's your call.
Oh yeah, no. What happened? I didn't really hear what you said. Sorry.
I was saying good morning. I know I'm not next in line, but could I possibly impede because I got to jump someplace else?
Oh yeah. Go ahead.
I just wanted to quickly, first of all, what's up, Benny? Happy Petey. Everybody in the space, I see y'all. I just quickly wanted to jump in and say good win. I told you guys after we won last week that you guys have a squad loading, and that you guys were going to snatch some games from some teams that wasn't even expecting it. And you've already started that. I told people last week, do not sleep on them. Yeah, we won, but they got a team. And the way you guys played, I was like, yeah, they're going to come through, and they're going to beat some games and people are not expecting them to do that. and I think yesterday was one of them. So I just wanted to say congrats, y'all. I think your years of crying are going to be coming to a close soon. If not this year, next year, for real. You guys will be, I think, will be considered true contenders. But I said I was going to be keeping a watch on who you guys play and how you play, because you really do have something going, and I appreciate that about y'all. So I was like, I definitely wanted to jump in and tell you guys that and keep it going, because you really do have a squad loaded, and I know that had to feel good. It made me feel good. Y'all took down the Browns yesterday for obvious reasons, but I know that had to make you guys feel good. So, no, straight up, I just wanted to congratulate you, and I appreciate you letting me butt in like that, everybody.
We appreciate you. Yeah, you're right. This does feel good, and I appreciate that you also see that we're starting something special here, and that's cool to see. That we're typically, a lot of Jets fans try to sell themselves on, oh no, this is going to be a good year, but it's good that other people are starting to take notice. And 100%, I know you're not necessarily worried about the Browns, because the Browns are going to consistently be the Browns, but handing your division at L, I know that helped you out too. So yeah, welcome for sure. But let's
Yeah,
definitely.
no, Browns are a good team, so don't try to undersell y'all win. The Browns are a good team. They may not have the best, QB sitting right there, but they have a good O line. They got great running backs. They got good defense. Uh, they have a good team. So don't try to undersell that win in any way.
Oh yeah, no doubt, no doubt. But yeah, let's see. Let's keep going to the hands. It was Mike. Go ahead, Mike.
What's going on, fellas? Uh,
What's
good
up, brother?
morning. What's going on, man? Good, good. Hey, I'm just, I know, we're talking about some negative stuff and all that, man, but I just want to stay on the positive side. And I mean, the fact that we actually won in September, the fact that I saw you Stadium post yesterday, Cleveland Brown had a 99.9% of winning that game, and we actually pulled it out. You know, being a Jets fan, all this stuff, like, this shit never goes our way. And the fact that actually went our way, and we haven't even played complimentary football like this week. Our offense came through, but our defense didn't come through. Last week the defense came through, the offense didn't come through. It just shows you that we have a good team, that it's not gonna quit. It's not quitting anytime soon. And I just want to share those positive things. And I know a lot of people talking about, our defense is looking kind of suspect, this and that, but honestly, I mean, as a Jets fan, to see this kind of win come with an onside kick, this is something you just don't see as a Jets fan. So I'm just excited. I fucking lost my voice screaming so loud yesterday at the fucking bar. I mean, it's fucking. I'm just happy, man. So I'm just glad here to be talking to you guys on a Monday. Victory Monday. I can ask for nothing better. That's what I gotta say.
You're right, bro. And to win a football game, you need to win at least two phases. And point blank period, our offense was consistently moving the ball. I think their defense was backpedaling. They didn't know what we were coming with. And even when we were losing, what I'm saying, our offense was still moving the ball, doing a lot of good things. So our offense won the day, and our special teams won the day also. I know we all was absolutely destroying Brandon Mann last week, but he came up huge with some of his punts, pinning them deep, and obviously the onside kick, Greg the leg hitting the 57-yarder. We 100% won those two phases of the game, and that right there gave us the opportunity to win the game for sure.
Hey, Mike, take yourself off mute real quick, Mike. I'm gonna pull my Spanglish here. Dímelo, dímelo, dímelo.
Dímelo, PD, dímelo.
Yeah, let's obviously keep going. We're gonna go Jim, Justin, Chris, and then defense.
Yeah, good morning, everybody.
What's up, Jim?
Jim, what's up?
What's up, Petey? So I just want to hit just a few points, like just like a bunch of different things with the Jets. Like, someone said about the Jets defense gave up 9 to 12 first third downs conversions, and usually you lose games like that. But last week what the defense did, holding the Ravens to what they did, usually the team wins that game. So it all evens out, stuff like that. But I want to hit on people complaining about Joe Douglas and Salah. Like, you know what Joe Douglas did the last 2 drafts, hitting on all these guys. I don't even give a shit about 2020 draft. Is that a bad draft? Yeah, it is. Like, whatever. He was drafting for Gase, and there's misses. The last 2 drafts, what this guy did, they got playmakers. Finally, they got young guys that are starting right away, and the coaching staff finally realizes after last week they didn't have Wilson on the field enough. What do? He's out there all game. So at least, finally the Jet coaches have common sense, knowing we need these guys on the field, and they're able to make plays and contribute to this team. Like, you had a guy, Max Mitchell, a 4th-round offensive lineman, holding his own in the past 2 weeks. Like, he hit these past 2 drafts out of the park, Joe Douglas. So people got to stop, complaining about him. Salah, listen, Salah's not perfect, but at least he has the common sense to know that these guys need to be in the field. He deactivated Bryce Hall yesterday and put Eccles, on the active roster. That worked out to be good. I don't know why Bryce Huff isn't active. That's, I scratched my head on that one, especially with the pass rush lacking a little bit. But they have, finally, the Jets have the common sense, a staff, to know what they need and who they need on the field. And again, the defense, there's still a bunch of young guys, a bunch of new guys, free agents. It's only week 2, the preseason. They don't play a lot. It should be better. I hope the defense gets better and more consistent, especially with the pass rush. But, Joe Douglas, again, the 2 drafts are phenomenal. And they finally got playmakers, dangerous guys on the field, and they get them the ball. So, you know what? What a win yesterday, and hopefully they can, keep it going next week. I know the Bengals are 0-2 and all this stuff, but all that stuff's irrelevant. I used to be like that too. Oh, I wish they won because now they're mad. They're grown men. It's all irrelevant. It's all bullshit. You got to play. Everybody's. It's all whatever it is. It is. That's it. Everybody's. It's whatever. But hopefully they keep it going. Thanks, guys. I'll switch to listener.
Nah, bro. You're totally right, bro. Joe Douglas absolutely nailed these past 2 drafts, and not enough is being said that Max Mitchell is absolutely balling. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, he's had his mistakes. The Jadeveon Clowney, I wouldn't even give that one like all on Max Mitchell. If we're being real here, Joe Flacco should have seen the rush coming and could have stepped up in the pocket and delivered the pass. He just stood there and he got stripped. But Max Mitchell, at the end of the day, held his own.
Saved the game. Didn't mean to butt the line, but saved the game with that fumble recovery. Saved
100%.
us.
100%. Very aware. I don't know. He's been playing huge. And granted, once Clowney got out with the ankle injury, it made it easier to obviously load up to Myles Garrett's side. And after Clowney got down, I don't think I seen Joe Flacco really get pressured at all. They started to have to blitz a little bit there, and that opened up the field, obviously. But yeah, Max Mitchell, all these guys like Garrett Wilson making an impact. Sauce, a little bit of a rougher game, but I like that he was challenged, and obviously he's going to learn. He's going to grow from that. And Breece Hall, like every single one of these guys, in some shape or form, contributed. And you said this perfectly. I absolutely love the fact that our coaching staff showed some pulse, showed the fact that they're competent. And I don't know, to me, the fact that Bryce Hall was inactive was holding him accountable. You haven't been good enough. So you know what, Brandon Eccles, you're going to get your shot. And shout out to Brandon Eccles, because a lot of people kind of discredit him and whatever. He's kind of lost in the depth chart in a lot of people's minds. He came out there cold and had 2 back-to-back plays where he came up huge, stopping a touchdown. Shout out Brandon Eccles. That boy's the truth. DJ was saying it last year that he's better than Bryce Hall, and people fucking absolutely destroyed him for it. And he's proven it. He's absolutely proven it. So continue to have Bryce Hall on the bench. I could care less. Let's get talent out there. But obviously, let's keep going. Let's go ahead, Justin.
Morning, guys. Victory Monday. We deserve this. Like this fan base deserves something like that. The probability of that game, like somebody mentioned it, 99.9% chance the Browns are winning that game. Like that never happens to us. So the fact that that crazy improbable win happened, I think it's going to be huge for this young team. I really do think it's going to springboard them into something special. I really do. Um, so yeah, I mean, all of the rookies stepped up yesterday, Benny, like you said. Garrett Wilson is an absolute problem. He has to be on the field. He's a complete game changer. And Max Mitchell, he played his ass off. He played great, I thought. Yeah, I mean, the one mistake he had was when Clowney beat him. Flacco could have stepped up, but I'll put that one on Max just because he got beat so quick. But other than that, he was very good. Like no issues with Max Mitchell at all. Brees had that big long run to the outside when he bounced it. And I thought he was actually going to score a touchdown there. Jermaine Johnson in the run game, like I know the pass rush didn't really show up until that Carl Lawson sack, but Jermaine was awesome in the run game. Clemens, I know he had that one penalty, but I thought that was kind of a bullshit penalty. But yeah, man, the rookies were great. I mean, I thought Sauce played good. Little soft in coverage. I don't know if that's part of the system that they wanted to have him a little soft, but I would like to see him press a little more. But other than that, man, what a crazy win. Very excited for this fan base. We deserve it. And the Bengals, watching them the first two games, last year means nothing to this year. So in the NFL, it's completely different. And the Jets need to take advantage. The offensive line for Cincinnati right now is not good at all. Burrow's struggling right now, so they need to take advantage of this team and carry the momentum into Sunday and get another win. Like the Saleh needed this. Their coaching staff, they needed something like this to happen, and luck finally prevailed on their side, getting that onside kick. The probability of getting an onside kick in today's NFL with the special teams changes, it's slim to none. Like I don't know the percentage, but I want to say it's probably like 10-15% chance. So to get that onside kick and Will Parks to keep that ball in bounds, unbelievable. Like if Will Parks doesn't get an arm on that and knock that ball in bounds, that goes out of bounds. That's a penalty. Jets lose. And the special teams was huge. Like Benny mentioned it. Zerloin saved his job. Mann saved his job. Both of those guys saved their jobs. Both of them could have been gone after this game if they struggled. So to see that happen and Eccles, that was a huge decision because it paid off big time. It paid off putting Eccles in over Hall. Somebody had mentioned it. Why is Huff not playing? I think it was Jim. I think they wanted an extra, interior guy inside to try to stop that crazy run they got. I think Huff will be activated next week against Burrow. So, thanks for letting me do my thing. And
You
PD,
got it,
what a
Chris.
hell of a win. Hell of a win.
Yes, sir. I'm just
So,
looking at something.
fired up.
Justin, thanks. I just saw a tweet. Garrett Wilson and Brees Hall have accounted for 28% of the scrimmage yards gains in the NFL by all rookies so far.
Yeah, they have to be on the field, man. Like because
Correct.
we saw last week when we saw, Garrett. I was wondering where all of us were like, what? Where's Garrett? Like, and he wasn't out there in the first 15 scripted plays, and then we saw that sideline catch and that ridiculous juke move, and we're like, holy shit, this guy needs to get the ball at all times. So the fact that LaFleur owned up to his mistakes, not putting him out there, I'm happy. He looked himself in the mirror and says, okay, this kid's a playmaker. He might not know the offense completely in and out yet because literally he's a rookie, but
right. Well,
man,
Justin, what's good about that is
he needs to be on the field.
Yeah, they really didn't have, I mean, not the bet. Wilson did good, for what he played in last game. But if you think about it, really, that was from really one game. So the trend is up, man. Listen, I can't remember the last time we had rookies. No, we don't have rookies that do this. And the Jets drafted 2 wide receivers in the last 2 years, 2 running backs in the last 2 years. We've never done this. And people want instant gratification. And now the hard work is starting to pay off. Michael Carter played like a veteran yesterday, and he's been in the league. He's been in the game. He's played 18 games in the league. So
And don't you think, Petey, Elijah, like having Elijah Moore and Garrett Wilson, in my opinion, those are two number one wide receivers.
Yes.
And I think Moore complements Garrett so well. Dude, they complement each other so well. Because they're both outstanding route runners, and Moore is always open. Garrett's always open.
Well, the thing, Justin, that I think where Zach Wilson will help, and we'll get to hands, thanks, bro, is that when what Wilson's doing now, but if Zach's in and he's, scrambling because Flacco really can't move.
I know.
Like that play at the end, the last drive, if Flacco could have moved a little bit better, I think Wilson's arm would have got it there to more. It was almost a pick six, by the way, but I think Zach's going to create those off script plays for them, for
absolutely.
Wilson and
I think this
Moore.
offense will go to the next level, honestly, like with Zach, because what you just said, like the off script plays, Zach's, as long as Zach calms down a little bit and gets going, and he's fine. He'll settle in. I'm not really too worried about him. I'm really not. I think this offense goes to another level with him. I really do.
Justin, say on. Don't
right.
get off here. Right. Benny, I don't know what the rotation is, but
it's Chris. Chris is up.
What's going on, guys? Hope we're doing all right. Great win. I'm gonna start off with a few funnies, and then I'll actually go with my actual, game analysis. At first, obviously, being as a Jet, you come and you sit at the bar, or if you're at the game, you wonder what team you're gonna see, or if they're gonna actually, want to come to win. Obviously, we've drafted players that have that mentality now, but you still kind of wonder that here and there. And the moment where everyone says like the moment where they figured out they were going to win the game was, the fake punt or, getting the onside, which both are, great points. But the time where I knew we were going to possibly win this game was when Joe Flacco actually ran for a first down. And that was a little kind of wild to see an old man just really try to go for it. Someone mentioned here, I think it might have been Benny, that the best running back duo in the league currently is Chubb and Kareem Hunt. I like to raise Michael Carter and Breece Hall if that's a possibility. And Tyler Conklin, man, that guy. If you guys have seen the movie The Comebacks, he definitely needs the Fumble Rooski Award because I know he's good on the routes and he can catch him a couple times, but man, his timing on the fumbles are just not the best. But I mean, what a great win! I mean, such a beautiful game to watch because I'm sure most of us thought it was over. I mean, for crying out loud, I blinked and I was watching it on the TV. I felt like I blinked and I missed the Corey Davis touchdown. But once we had got that onside, we had all the confidence. I love that the coaches, I love that LaFleur, dialed up another play where Wilson would be the hot read after, he dropped one. Still putting the confidence where he can still win the game, which was really nice to see. I don't know about the status of Jermaine Johnson. Hopefully he's okay. Michael Clemens looked really nice yesterday, so I'm really glad about that. And it was just good to just see the team have some fight. I was ready to start bashing early in the game because we weren't gonna go for that 4th and 1 at first, and I had the tweet ready, all gas no brakes my ass, like I had it on all caps, and then we went for it, and I was like, all right, this team is coming to fight today. So that was just really nice to see it not have an embarrassing game and show some fight and a win. So that was great.
100%. As I mentioned that earlier, it was good to see the coaching staff want to win. Like they made their mark early with the fake punt. Like, okay, we're not going to sit here and just play we're not going to be content with playing a field position game. We're trying to win this game right now. And that was huge. I think that right there, that play call uplifted the team. It's like, oh crap, like let's make the most of this. Like let's score points. And we scored a touchdown on that drive. Like plays like that is what a team like us who necessarily doesn't have too much to lose. We're just trying to go out there and perform and string together good plays, string together a good game. And plays like that really help elevate this team to definitely new heights. I want to throw this question out there though, real quick, before we continue getting to the hands, because it's going to be one that's going to be interesting to see. Obviously, we got Brown, who, if he comes back, I doubt he's going to come back with the shoulder. But if he comes back, what do you do with Dwayne Brown if Max Mitchell is really continues to play at a pretty high level like he's doing? Do
That was
you
actually going to be
automatically
my
put
next
Brown back
point.
out there
Sorry.
at left and
Yep.
then put Fant back out there at right? I don't know.
Yep. No, Fant goes to swing tackle where he belongs.
I was about to say I'd probably play the young guy and then see, but let the two old guys battle out for that last spot. To be honest.
Yeah, I mean it's a good question. If Max is playing well, I wouldn't want to just snatch him just because you're a rookie and it is what it is. We need the old guys to go out there. George Fant hasn't proven to be a good right tackle yet, a consistent right tackle yet. And Dwayne Brown, you were here for all of a week before you got hurt. Why? I know you got your bag and we're paying you a lot of money, but am I just going to make you a starter? I wouldn't do that either.
Benny, let me jump in here real quick. Listen, every Jeff fan, for the most part, was saying how Myles Garrett's gonna have 8 sacks. The Browns had 2 sacks yesterday. Okay, so big ups to George Fant, and everybody killed Lakeland Tomlinson last week, rightfully so. He played really well. So I got a cue on, what are we gonna let Brown get healthy first, and then we'll decide that. I'm not trying to ruin your parade here, Benny, but it's a good question. But Max Mitchell has been thrown into the fire and he's played well the last 2 games. So it's good to have offensive line problems, but they always work themselves out. So I'm going to give George Fant the benefit of the doubt and let him continue to play because everybody was saying he's done, he's this, he's that. And the guy played well. He held his own. Max Mitchell technically gave up that strip sack, even though Flacco should have stepped up, but nobody was open anyway. So that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, no, you're right. It'll always work itself out. But let's definitely continue to get to the hands. We'll go Jets take defense and then ground and punt.
Jets Nation, what the fuck is going on, baby? Yo, I just had my cup of coffee. I'm feeling great, man. It's great to have a fucking Victory Monday for 1 September. So, shout out to Jets Nation, man. We fucking deserve this. But, that game is a game we typically lose, right? Like, even as I'm watching with my brothers. Zerline lines up, 57-yard field goal. I'm like, we don't make this, man. We end up making it. Crazy. The touchdown to Corey Davis on a botched Denzel Ward missing his assignment, a touchdown. Even on the onside kick, we don't get that. And even in the pileup, I'm like, we don't get fumbles. We get that. We recover it. Going into that drive, I'm telling you, I don't think we score, man. I don't see us scoring. Flacco to Wilson. That whole entire time, it's just that Jet mentality. And I have it too, that Jet mentality of like, we don't win these type of games. That ball does not bounce our way normally. Maybe our luck is changing. We finally get a September win. I'm looking forward to the Cincinnati game because I want to see if we can actually stack up a win against a beatable team, against a beatable Cincinnati team at home. Ring of honor for Nick Mangold. It's a game that we should win. And I hope we're able to stack up wins. But it's just a great win for the coaching staff, a great win for players that we were down on last week. Braden Mann, Zerline, all these guys, man. But it goes to show you, man, like even as fans, we got to take these weeks just week by week, right? We can't get too high, we can't get too low. And as Jets fans, it's easy to get low. But let's just go week by week. See where we are. I'm glad they made adjustments from last week because that's really what I wanted to see. I mean, honestly, I didn't think we were going to win that Cleveland game, but I just wanted to see the coaching staff make adjustments, and they did. So it's on to Cincy. Let's see what we can do. Let's pack out fucking MetLife. Let's get loud and let's fucking bring it to these boys, man. Because that O-line is Swiss cheese, bro. Come on, we can get this win. Let's stack up these wins.
100%. 100%. I couldn't have said it better. Like, obviously going 0-2, and then facing a 0-2 Cincy, like the energy wouldn't have been as exciting, but we just came off a crazy win. There is no reason why we're not packing out MetLife with the opportunity to have a winning record in September, going 2-1 with a Swiss cheese offensive line that they have. There's no reason why our fan base isn't in there loud, standing up the whole time. If you're going, please don't sit there on your phone and sit there like unless like something's terrible going on. But to start the game, let's bring the energy. Let's let the players know that we're excited and that we're gonna help. You know what I'm saying? Like the fan base, when we're screaming, yelling, that helps. That means a lot. You know what I'm saying? So let's definitely pack it out and let's relish the opportunity of being 2-1. Who knows the last time we were 2-1? But yeah, let's obviously keep going around. Oh, obviously I know defense, we're gonna get right to you, bro. But go ahead, Zach.
Yo, what's up, fellas? Man, shit, I have no voice left, but yo, what a great win. And Benny, you're doing a great job. I see Happy here helping out, and Petey, love it. Yeah, guys, I mean, look, just like Benny said, let's be loud. Let's fucking, let these guys have to go to a silent count. I mean, you got to be loud. We got to pack that stadium, like Benny said again. I mean, look, if we don't win, dude, I looked at Anthony and I'm like, bro, if we don't win today, I mean, that's gonna be a half-empty stadium. And, you have a lot of Cincinnati fans in there, so don't sell your tickets. If you can't make it, sell to a Jet fan. Be there, scream loud. Let's tailgate. Let's go crazy. And if Zach Wilson's back, that's the outlier right there. I'll tell you right now, it's going to be crazy in there if Flacco's there regardless. But if they announce Zach Wilson from now to Thursday that he's starting, Benny, you get your wish. So I'm excited. I don't have much to say, but listen, I had a great time with everyone, and shit, let's just enjoy it. This is a win in September that we haven't experienced in quite a while. So we should all enjoy it. And all the Brown fans out there that said all that shit, well, they can eat shit today. So listen, love you guys. And you could drop me down, Benny, but good job. And I'll talk to you guys later.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Zach. And you're right. We need to celebrate this win. I say, obviously, we celebrate this until Wednesday. And then we really start pushing the narrative on how we're going to beat Cincy. But yeah, now this is an opportunity to go 2-1 versus a team that's clearly shaky. And
their defense is suspect too, Benny. Not to cut you off, but they're beatable, man. They're beatable.
Well, who's the Cowboys quarterback? Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush looked like a decent quarterback yesterday. I don't know.
Their secondary is shaky.
Yeah, I expect another big game from Garrett Wilson, to say the least. But go ahead, defense.
What's up, Jet Lounge, man?
What's going on? What's going on, bro?
Oh man, it feels so good to say what I want to say because, it's true. Winning builds confidence in the locker room. Like the way the team rallied around Joe Flacco after the game, it was the hug that Robert Saleh gave him, man. Like, we have started off, I think 4 or 5 years, 0-3, 0-4 every September. And coaching staffs could talk a big game heading into week 5 when you're 0-4, but you lose confidence. You become deflated, right? So this win right here, man, September win, we're 1-1. Like, we have confidence now, player confidence and coaching confidence. And there's no such thing as luck, man, right? When preparation, it's a true saying, when preparation meets opportunity, there's lies success. Our team was prepared. We must have, in practice, kicked 1,000 onside kicks because we got that onside kick. We were prepared to do it. Flacco was able to hit Corey Davis deep. Like, we executed. And the only thing that I could say was lucky was Cleveland not sitting on the ball. That was a blunder. But then I asked myself, I'm like, well, if they didn't call a phantom holding call on Michael Carter's 30-yard run, we would have got a touchdown. They were going to have to score a touchdown either way. But there's a lot of things that I loved, man. And I got to start with Flacco. I wrote an article about this dude. I posted all of his stats. I posted the game that he had against Miami, right, last year. I knew he had this game in him. 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, 300-plus passing yards, quarterback passer rating of over 100. I wrote an article about this dude because I knew he had it in him. And what I was most excited heading in, Zach Wilson's our dude. I can't wait till he comes back. But what we seen what Elijah Moore did with Joe Flacco, Elijah Moore had his breakout game last year. And I was hoping we were going to see the same thing with whether it was Breece Hall or, and we seen it yesterday with Garrett Wilson. This kid is special, man. This kid is special. And then there's a lot of players that deserve a game ball too, man. Like, I'm not going to lie. When we took the lead by 1 point, 31-30, they were driving down the field. When the quarterback ran the ball to the 50, Aston Davis not only made a game-saving play, he won the game for us, man. I was having these bad thoughts of another horrible Jet loss, and this dude had one snap all game, and it was a pick. So I hope moving forward that he gets more opportunities at free safety. But, man, I'm fired up. And the last thing I want to say is this defense, forget the stats. I'm looking at the speed. I'm looking at these kids flying around the ball, right? Baltimore Ravens, we held Lamar Jackson because of our speed on defense to 17 rushing yards, right? Do you see what Lamar Jackson, I know they lost the game, but against Miami, he ran for well over 100 yards. Against us, couldn't even get 20. Now you look at Nick Chubb, right? We held him to 80 yards. The week before, Nick Chubb went off for 140 yards. And I think most of his yards came in that fourth quarter. But our run defense, we are flying around the field. We've got cornerbacks, DJ Reed and Sauce Gardner. They're not getting beat, man. Jordan Whitehead, he's a dog. We've got speed everywhere, man. So I'm really excited about the Cincinnati game. And before I land, just remember this, guys. When I wrote that article for the Jets to go 12-5, after 3 games, I had us at 2-1. If we beat Cincinnati, I'm on pace for that 12-5. Let's get it, y'all.
Defense, I gave you enough time there. 12 to 12 wins. Enjoy this. Good take for the most part.
No, we got to go.
Not
We
raining
got
on
to
you.
beat Cincinnati. We got to beat them. If we
Of
beat
course.
Cincinnati, then you could say good
Let's
job,
just
defense. But we
let's
got to
just
beat them. It
enjoy
would be
this
2-1.
win, and all respect to you, bro.
Yo, what up? Sorry, I've been quiet for the last couple hours. I was just doing some shit.
Good morning, Mr. Jet.
Yeah, morning. Yeah, I'll say it real quick so then we could get to the hands. Yeah, I mean, that's probably one of the greatest improbable comebacks I've ever seen in my entire Jet life. We watched the Monday Night Miracle. We watched that improbable comeback against the Texans in 2010. That was also wild to see. I mean, it was insane. I was going through so many emotions. I was pissed off on the 4th and 8. That Saleh didn't go for it. Throughout the whole game, I'm sitting there watching, and I'm sitting here saying, like, I just want us to be balanced. Against the Ravens, our defense looked good, but our offense stunk. This week our offense looked very good, and our defense just was kind of laying eggs against a guy like Jacoby Brissett. So it was just a roller coaster of emotions. It's fantastic. We were 0-13 in September. We finally got that big W in a ridiculous way. Normally the Jets, we don't get wins like this. So I love it. Going to the game next week, I didn't want to go in, like Zach was saying, 0-2, and the stadium was going to kind of be somewhat deflated, unless maybe they announced Zach was coming back. But the stadium, I think, is going to be very loud. The Bengals are 0-2. They don't look like they actually do look like a team that just lost the Super Bowl, because we've seen what happens to teams who lose the Super Bowl. They stink. Bengal fans were talking all summer about, this new revamped offensive line, and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Boyd are the best three, the duo in the league. I think the Jets got to look at the tape. The Browns have a very good offensive line. So, it was a little disappointing that they didn't put a lot of pressure on Brissett. But again, the Browns got a good O-line. The Bengals clearly do not. So if the Jets are looking at this tape, I'm looking at one man, and I'm looking at Carl Lawson to have a nice little revenge game against his former team. So that's the man I'm looking out for going in this week against Cincinnati. But let's enjoy this victory Monday. Again, there's things that we need to work on defensively. Especially with our front seven. Our secondary, I thought, played pretty good, but our front seven just needs to pick it up, especially next week. We got to put pressure on Burrow because we've seen that entire offense just get completely getting imploded when you put pressure on Burrow. And another thing we need to make sure of is to stop these rinky-dinky little dump offs to the tight end and to the running back. We got to stop those. Last year they killed us. Yesterday they were pretty much kind of killing us with Chubb and Hunt and then Njoku getting these little cute little dump offs. But anyway, the offense looked great. Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, the kids came to play. Michael Carter, just so elusive. Elijah Moore also got open, had a couple good catches. Again, just looking at the guys, it was a lot of redemption. It was a redemption game for a lot of guys. Brandon Mann, everybody was saying, cut this guy, cut him. And he kicks a beautiful onside kick that we recovered. Joe Flacco, same thing, like bench this guy for Mike White. He goes out and throws 4 touchdowns over 300 yards. Greg Zerlon, Petey mentioned it before. I'll bring in Blankenship, and freaking this guy kicks a 57-yarder to keep us in the ball game. Just a lot of redemption game for a lot of guys. So It was a good, an improbable win. I love it. Again, probably one of the greatest I've ever seen. Being a Jets fan, and we got to go make a statement. We got to make a statement next week at home against Cincinnati because Cincinnati's battered right now. So we got to step on their throats. And regardless who's starting at quarterback, Zach or Flacco, obviously we want to see Zach. We want to see Zach, flourish with these weapons. So I do hope it's Zach, and I hope we go in. I hope the stadium's loud, and we just got to step on their throats and take care of business.
Yeah, and happy to go off your point real quick. Don't forget this game's probably circled for Carl Lawson. I know people were saying he was non-existent yesterday, and he was for the most part until the end of the game. So that game's going to be circled. The shit that people were saying last week about Zerline, he missed the field goal in a rainstorm, and a guy, Jeff fans wanted to cut him for a guy who missed a kick indoor shorter than him. Give me a break. So I wasn't on the Blankenship train, whatever his name is. Greg Zerline showed that he's Greg the leg yesterday. We got hands up. So my defense and ground and pound, you guys spoke already. Let me get to Mike Elias.
No, I didn't get in yet.
Who's this?
This is ground and punt. Last guy was defense.
But ground and punt. You already spoke real quick. Just let Mike Elias get in, and then I'll go to you.
Guys, we had a 0.3% to win this game. 0.3% according to Next Gen Stats after Chubb scored that touchdown. And we somehow fucking pulled that off. I don't know how we did it, but somehow we did it. And that usually doesn't go our way. So that was awesome. A couple things, though. I was hoping to see Zach Wilson in the next game. He looked good in practice, and he was actually allowed on the sidelines during this game. If you guys saw when they spanned out to the sideline, you'd see him there. But I think they don't push him. I think they're going to wind up going with Flacco this game. I guess the one thing that I'm concerned about based on this game is Tyler Conklin. He needs to get those fumbles under control. I don't know what it is, but this is a second fumble that looked exactly like that in 2 weeks. Like, we got lucky. Max Mitchell jumped on that, but something's wrong with Conklin, and if he can't get that under control, he can't play. It's that simple. We can't be coughing up the ball in the third quarter and the fourth quarter every fucking time because we throw the ball to him. You can't do that. And then lastly, you guys can see that these players have pride. All these tweets going out, every one of our players had a tweet about how excited they were. And I mean, those look genuine to me. So that's basically what I got. Yeah, I mean, it was awesome. I don't have much else to say about it.
I just want to say something too, Benny. If the offensive line continues to play the way they're playing, I don't give a fuck if Dwayne Brown's coming back. You're keeping Max Mitchell at right tackle. There's absolutely no way. The way the kid's been playing, and again, another back-to-back weeks, the kid's played well. Obviously, besides the one play with Clowney, but it's going to happen. The kid's a rookie. Clowney's a veteran. These things happen. But George Fant played much better this week than he did against Baltimore. Petey said it as well. Lincoln Tomlinson. I don't care if Dwayne Brown's coming back. I don't give a fuck how much money we gave the guy. You don't ruin the continuity of the offensive line. You keep Max Mitchell at right, and you keep the offensive line the way it is.
100%. And that was why I asked that question before. It is, I don't know, switching in and out middle of the season, and if the offensive line is playing well, you can't, like I said, Dwayne Brown practiced for a week, maybe literally probably like a week and a half. I don't care. Fant proved to be a really good left tackle last year. He had the rough game. I called him out for it. He played well this game. If he continues to build on that, I don't care. Dwayne Brown.
I'm with
sorry.
Happy and Benny on this. Yeah, I would just leave the offensive line the way it is. I would not mess with it, especially after a game like yesterday. So
Justin,
leave it. I would leave it.
Just hang on, guys. I'm not saying this to be a jerk, but we got hands up. People been waiting. It's no disrespect, but try and stay in your turn. I know it's hard. We're all full of emotion. I let somebody come up that I didn't hear, Mike Elias. Let's get to ground and punt. Benny, I'm sorry. I just want to try and, keep that. And then we'll go to Sack and Lee Johns. Go ahead, ground and punt.
Benny, literally, I raised my hand about 2
Ground
minutes.
and punt was good.
Hey, yeah, right. About 2 minutes before you asked that question, I raised my hand to talk about the offensive line. And
yeah, no, I'm not hearing them.
Yeah, so your
You guys
question.
hearing them?
Hello.
Yeah,
I hear him, Benny.
You might have to exit and then come back in.
I hear him. No, I hear him, Benny.
Oh, I
Okay.
bet.
So your question was, what do we do when Brown comes back? And so the answer to that question is, if Mitchell keeps playing the way that he's playing, you have to leave the offensive line alone, and you have to find a way to start communicating with Fant to re-sign him long term. I think the bigger question is, what do we do, if deeper? I think, what do you do? Do you make Becton compete with Mitchell, or do you make him compete with Fant? To me, that's the deeper question. And then to me, I think you got to leave Fant alone, and you got to just keep him and re-sign him. And if you want to see what Becton's made of, if you want to see if he's a real dog or not, I think you make him compete with Mitchell. And you see, and this guy's really, because I think one thing about Becton, he's also got thin skin. You see where he, he even blocked me because I criticized him on Twitter. But he goes after the reporters. He can't really take the heat. I don't know if he's made for New York, so I don't know, man. You see the physical potential there, but the physical potential was there too with Jamarcus Russell. I think if you really want to see what Becton is made of, you make him compete with Max Mitchell, and then whoever wins wins. And then from whoever loses from there, especially if it's Max Mitchell who loses, I think you're looking at probably getting a second round pick for Mitchell pretty easy.
But wait, ground and punt. I'm not, no disrespect, but
How about trading?
I'm not trading Max Mitchell, man. Come on.
Wait.
But what do you do?
So let's worry about. Hold on, real quick.
No,
let's
you
worry
keep
about
depth in the offensive line is what you do. You keep depth.
Let's worry about.
And
hold
this
on,
is
real
next
quick.
year.
Let's worry about the Becton. Let's worry about this stuff when the season's over. Our O-line is looking good right now. I'm not worried about when Becton comes back. What are we going to do? Let's not worry about that right now. That's months away. I'm not worried about that right
Let
now.
Sack come in here. Sack, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I agree with Happy on that one. I mean, what are we even talking about? But what I wanted to say is, look at the team. It's such a young team. These guys are so young, just like our younger fans. These players don't give a rat's ass about 20 years ago when we sucked and the Parcell era when we were. They know now. These kids are all young. They don't know that they're supposed to suck. They don't know we're supposed to lose games like that. They don't know that same old Jets terms and all this shit. They don't know that. They're young and they don't know the history like that. It's not like, oh yeah, we're supposed to lose those games. We know because we're fans. These young kids, they don't know that. That's why it's so exciting. You got a lot of young bucks on this team that just want to ball out, and they don't give a rat's ass about the tradition or the failed history of the New York Jets. You see Garrett Wilson putting up the sign and all the Brees Hall caught that little out for a touchdown. These kids, man, I'm so excited for it because I was looking this morning. I was rewatching the game about 3 times. Oh, they don't care. They don't give a shit about it. They don't know about, oh, yeah, same old, just because the old heads, someone like me. I mean, I'm not that old, but say in the middle road. But shit, like, I'm the one that could be, oh, yeah, same old Jets. Yeah, we're supposed to lose this game. This is when we lose. And this is when, they don't know it. And that's what I'm excited about. These kids the kids that are playing, they don't give a shit about it. They don't have those long memories. They're out there to ball, and they don't care about the losing tradition. It doesn't even matter to them. That's all I have to say.
Go ahead. It was Lee John, right?
Yeah, Lee John.
I can't wait to go on Sunday, guys. It's just a totally different feeling when coming off a win.
You and eyeballs.
Look, you know what? We're down 14. Thank God for Red
Lee
Zone,
John.
because you know what? When you're watching that game on Channel 2 and they're down 15 points, I shut the game off. And then I turn on my Red Zone, and then I see Corey Davis running into the end zone. So like, all right, I'll turn it back on. And it's just so much different. I know people, want to talk about how it's early in the season. Don't worry about it. It's a slow start. You 17 games. But we need to win these games. We need to be 1-1. We need to be 2-2 and 4-4, 5-4. We need a record like that. And we need it so badly, more than any franchise in like the history of freaking football. We need to be relevant. And the Bengals are not that great. This team, they didn't play well against the Browns, in my opinion. I thought that, they got thoroughly beaten, and we, created freaking something out of nothing, it was just amazing to see because we never do it. It's always like another team on Sunday doing it. So, for us to do it, get to 1-1, and hopefully get our quarterback back at home. This is why we go to the games. This is why we watch the Jets and watch football, because hopefully one day they can make a run to the playoffs. So this is the start. You have to win a game. Nothing matters until the game's over. And did you win? Great. If you lost, it doesn't matter. So, I mean, what a great Sunday. Honestly, guys, I'm happy that we're in this chat not screaming about freaking Robert Saleh and Joe Flacco, because we were literally 2 minutes away from everybody exploding here. So, what a win, guys.
Yeah, well, there was, again, just a lot of, there was a questionable calls. Again, I said it earlier. I was annoyed that he didn't go for it on that 4th and 8. I felt that, there was not a lot of time left, and, just go out swinging. That's what I felt. And obviously, in hindsight, the Browns still drove down the field and scored, but, I didn't turn off the game. I was at the bar. I saw Corey Davis get that touchdown, and then I was praying on the bar stool that we would get this onside kicks. I think Benny said it earlier. Onside kicks are, it's a rarity to recover them, and again, it was a redemption game for a lot of these guys. Brandon Mann, they brought in punters. A lot of Jet fans were out, including me. I felt man had to get off the team, and they signed the guy to the practice squad. And here this guy goes out and kicks a beautiful onside kick, and we recovered it, and obviously the rest is history. So again, just a lot of redemption games, and I expected, Garrett Wilson. I mean, are we really somewhat surprised that he had a game like this? I mean, he went to Ohio State, so I'm sure he wanted. I'm sure the young man desperately and really wanted to ball out this game. And he did just that. And again, Cleveland's no pushover. I think JoJo said it earlier. Cleveland, has a solid secondary. Denzel Ward, Greg Newsome, that kid that they drafted in the 3rd round is pretty good too. So, and they Josh Johnson, I believe, at safety. So their secondary is no pushover. So to play the way we played against a solid defense, it's good to see. We haven't, and like Lee John said, we haven't seen the Jets do this in a very long time, where they go out against a good defense and they play well, especially in September. Like Lee John said, we start out 0-3. We start out 0-3 since 2018. It's been miserable. And then, by week 4, week 5, we're going to the games and we're just kind of like, oh, hope we can win this one. It's a new feeling. I haven't felt this way going into a week 3 game in a very long time, going in 1-1, confident, and going up against a team that's battered and, in my opinion, the most overrated team in the NFL right now. We heard all offseason that the Bengals are going to be this beast of a team and all this other stuff. And, I think we could honestly go in and, like I said earlier, step on their throats and, just put the final nail in the coffin and send their asses to 0-3. I think that's what we need to do. Because again, we heard all season about these AFC teams and AFC so dominant. Look at all the teams that are shit in the bed right now. The Colts, the Broncos look like ass. The Bengals look, again, overrated as fuck. So we need to cement ourselves, like we said all offseason, that we're here to make noise. Again, we have a young, and I said it again, I said it all off season, a young, hungry football team without all these ridiculous fucking contracts is a dangerous football team. So, and as you saw yesterday, there was no quit. And I'm going to refer to the Rangers on this one, Petey. There was no quit in New York. And yesterday was New York Day. The Yankees, the Mets, the Giants, and the Jets all won. And they haven't done that since 2009. And also Aaron Judge is 2 home runs away from tying Roger
And as
Maris.
I would say, what a time to be alive.
Yeah. And Aaron Judge is 2 home runs away from tying Roger Maris.
Yes.
So yesterday was New York Day. So no one could take that away from us.
All right. And now, I want to go to Manny. What's up, bro? Good, man. I know you're disguising yourself as a Jet fan. I know you want to be a Jet fan.
Manny's in my photo too. I had to do it.
I'm in Happy's profile picture right now, and I'm telling you something right now. I thought that I would feel much better about this loss when I woke up in the morning, but I felt even worse because not only all the videos surfacing of me saying the Jets are gonna go 0-9 and things like that, and this is a young, hungry team that I saw yesterday from the New York Jets, and it's insane to me just how well and how confident. And when they smelled blood in the last couple of minutes of that football game, they Happy, you hit it right on the head. You said they did not give up. They had fight. But honestly, I think you showed the world. I think the Jets showed the world today that, and even a little bit of the Browns, because a lot of people didn't think that either of our teams would score 30. Joe Flacco's now 18-3 versus the Browns. He just loves playing Cleveland. I don't know what it is. He just loves playing Cleveland. I had memes and videos ready for a Browns dub. I even posted some stuff. I sent it to Damian Woody.
with like 4 minutes left in the fourth, and I had to delete him. I had to do some PR checking in my Twitter, and it's insane. It's insane. Garrett Wilson broke the hearts of Ohio. What is it? 8 receptions, 100+ yards, something like that. The defense, Joe Woods, defense coordinator for the Browns, he just looked lost, had no idea. I felt great, and then I see Corey Davis in the middle of absolutely nowhere, like he had COVID or something. No one was around him. No one wanted to talk to him or nothing. Put a hand on him or anything, and I see him running down the sideline. I said, "Oh no!" I said, "But what's the possibility of them getting this onside kick? Who is this?" I had to look up the guy, Brandon Mann or Brendan. What is his name? Brendan or Brandon?
Brandon, man.
Brandon Mann. Yeah, I looked him up.
Wait,
Quick.
guys, it's Braden, man. Sorry.
Braden
Mann. But we're not keeping contact. I'm kidding.
I had to look him up really quick and see. I was like, oh no, they're not going to get this. The onside ball went right over to Amari. I'm like, Amari's got good hands. And all of a sudden, the Jets recover. All I see are these white jerseys and the green helmets and the sideline. I fell to the floor. I knew what was going to happen. I knew it. I knew Joe Flacco was going to walk them right down the field and score. I just knew it with no timeouts. I woke up this morning out of my sleep and said no timeouts. The Jets had 0 timeouts this entire time. And in 125 seconds, scored 14 freaking points in 125 seconds on our secondary. You got to give flowers. You got to give props. The AFC, all AFC North lost. The Bengals, you hit it happy. They're overrated. They're not protecting Joe Burrow. I believe you're going to beat the Bengals. I do. My mind is made up about this team. It's different. There's something different in this young team. There's just something about young teams that they just don't care. They just don't care. They don't care. And props to them. I'll be rocking this profile picture for the week. So, got to give you guys your flowers. Good game, good win. But I'll still be talking trash later. But right now, I got to give respect. Hey, yo, I appreciate that, bro. I thought you're a good sport. You're definitely a good sport. I thought you was gonna come in here and start defending them. Nah. No. I was. I thought about it, but I'm like, when you look back on the game, it's like, how do you come at a team that scored that man? It really is our fault. We got Browns fans arguing with each other because they thought that Nick Chubb should have kneeled instead of winning in for the end zone. But how the heck would as Nick Chubb, as soon as you score that touchdown, there's a 99.1% chance of winning the football game if you score. So only the Browns. But
yeah, but I also get annoyed at that real quick, and then I'll jump to second. I also get annoyed at that when people say this player should do this. I mean, you're a football player. You're in that moment.
Exactly.
And you see the end zone. You want to. I mean, it's a football play. I mean, that's what I get it, situational awareness, but it's hard to tell a football player in that moment, hey, kneel. I mean, what's the guy going to do? He has daylight in front of him. And again, like you just said, how the odds of that happening, the teams that were down, it was like 1 and like 2,000 and like whatever.
Yes.
Like the stats were ridiculous. It was like 1 in 2,000 of teams like that actually won in that amount of time. So
exactly, that's what the thing that really pisses me off about these Browns fans. And I got to head back into these Browns spaces because there's some people who are like, coming at Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb had a great game, but in that moment, I understand what they're saying about situational awareness. But I'm saying if you score, it's almost impossible to lose. So that's why I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, well, not saying that Nick Chubb's not smart, but it's like, hey, he's probably intelligent enough to say, yeah, let me walk it in. Because last year he did take a knee in the same kind of situation where he dropped at the 2-yard line. I forget who it was. I got to look that up. But so he understands that. But in this situation, it's like, let me score. There's a minute left. They have no timeouts. I don't know that was going through his brain or whatever, but people coming at Nick Chubb on the Browns side is insane. So I gotta defend that guy. Nick Chubb is by far the best player on that roster, and he carried that offense leaps and bounds. And if Browns fans are legitimately coming at Nick Chubb for not doing that, they're being blind to the fact that your defensive coordinator completely blew that game. Yes, Benny. Yes. That's where the game was lost. Like, I don't know how Corey Davis like you said, is running with no
Wide
one
open.
20 yards close to
20
him.
yards around
You
him.
know,
It was
Benny, if you look at the replay, and Manny, what's up? If you look
What's
at
up,
the
Petey?
replay, the guy, not even the corner, the other safety, like didn't even try. Like he thought the
Yes.
game was over. And like,
Yes.
how can you do that being a competitive football player? Like, it's like the Browns like quit.
It really laid down and quit. I think that they were in a daze like us fans were, because when the Jets recovered the onside, jaws were dropped. I had no idea what was going on, and then the defense they had no idea, no communication, no nothing. So I don't know. It's insane. Great win. I'll talk trash. Breathe through probably talk some trash. I don't know. I didn't consult with him yet. I don't know if he's gonna
No,
make a
he was
mistake.
actually humble in defeat.
Was
as
he?
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's shocking. I don't know if anybody would talk trash just because it's shocking, right? I don't know. It sounds weird, but if the Jets beat us by 20, I think we would have talked more trash than this, because this is just weird. It's just insane. But great fight, great win.
Yeah, Manny, I'm gonna just say one more thing real quick
Yeah,
to your point
yeah.
is about that defense. And like, I don't know, I think I truly blame the defensive coordinator at
Yes,
that end,
yes,
because on that Garrett Wilson touchdown, your safety for some weird reason was already in the end zone and was continuing to backpedal. He was backpedaling like he didn't know that he was in the end zone already, and he was the reason why that space was wide open, because he was trying to go to the back of the end zone like that. Clearly the ball's not going to the back of the end zone right there,
No,
and that's
yeah.
where the game was lost 100%.
People are calling for Joe Woods' job right now today. They want him fired by the end of the day, by 4 or 5 p.m. But it's a short week. We play Pittsburgh on Thursday, so I don't think that they're going to fire a defense coordinator on a short week. But I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. It's Joe Woods' fault. It's that defense's fault for not having them. But I don't. Hey, Joe Flacco, great job for hitting the guys and Michael Carter and the checkdowns on that drive and getting out of bounds and preserving time and taking the underneath throws. It just, I don't know. Good win, guys. Good win. So I'm gonna hit to these brown spaces and do some more arguing with the family.
Yeah, guys, real quick, because I didn't want Manny to leave. I wanted to just say something. That's why I have my hand up. If
yeah, go ahead, Zach. What's up?
Hey, Manny. So, what you mentioned earlier was something I was saying earlier. This team, you said something about young team. They don't give a shit. And the thing is, these young guys on the Jets, like I was saying earlier, they don't know what they don't know. We are fans for so long. We're fans for so long, Manny, that we know that the Jets are supposed to lose this, or we have the history, and these kids don't know that, so they're out there bowling. They don't know that. They don't wear the Jets green and be like, oh yeah, this is where they're out there. They don't know what they don't know. They're out there and they think they're in every game, and it's refreshing for Jet fans to have that. You know what I mean? They're not kind of
it is
loser mentality. They're out there balling, and they didn't think they were ever out of the game. I'm sure they're just young kids out there. And Garrett Wilson, Ohio product over there. I'm sure that added an extra sting to it all.
I think that's the big sting. And Sauce Gardner doesn't care. Jermaine Johnson doesn't care. Max Mitchell did a great job yesterday. I'm so proud of Max Mitchell. I really am. That's amazing. You guys got yourself a what is he, right tackle over there? So Justin Killer. I had the bet with you. I got the Pee Wee Herman profile picture with the Jets jersey on. I hope we play the Jets in the play. I hope you guys make it to playoffs, because if the Browns are in there, I hope we beat you by 50, because I need my revenge. But have a good season and beat the Bengals for me, because we're beating the Steelers. So I'll talk trash to Steelers fans.
Yeah, trash.
All right, go ahead, Tip. What's going on, bro?
What's up, Benny? What's up, guys? Happy Monday. Let's go celebrate this victory. Just to touch on that, what Chubb did, I believe what he said, it was last year. I think he must have had some PTSD, because I think he did go down and they ended up losing the game. So he was like, fuck it, I'm just going to punch it in. But whatever, it's besides the point. But just want to touch on something that I've been saying for the last week, even beforehand. But if route running and separation is very important for a wide receiver in terms of to helping your quarterback, especially a 38-year-old quarterback. So last week, everybody's always very overreactionary to one game. So it's tough. The offense played like dog shit. There was a lot of 13 personnel on the field, so you didn't see a lot of number 17. But when he was on the field, he did get open. Flacco missed him twice, and I think it was on that touch. It was a touchdown. He did a dig route in and faded out, and he missed him. So it was a combination of things. It was weather. Offensive line wasn't as great last week, but you know what? You clean up, you adjust, and that's what's important, man. You got to have elite route running and elite separation. If you don't get those, you ain't going to give your quarterback time to check to hit him. He's going to be checked down, Charlie, and that's what we seen last week. As opposed to this week, the offensive line was much better, much better, especially Max Mitchell. And I mean, come on, man. I've never seen a guy get off the ball the way Garrett Wilson gets off the ball. It's just insane. I love it as somebody who played the position. It's just it's awesome to see, man, and it's going to be even better when Zach is in there because you're going to see him extend plays and get outside the pocket. So you're going to see guys break off their routes. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now the Yankees had a call for when those guys came up. Our call for is number 17, number 8, number 20, and 32. And if you want to throw 2 in there, he's in there too. But those are the guys that are going to take us to the next level. Let's go, Jets.
Yes, sir, bro. You're completely right. That route running is key. It's gonna be even big for Zach Wilson, bro. So he's not thinking too much. He knows these guys are gonna get open. And he could throw. It helps him because he's gonna be able to throw with anticipation, knowing that these guys are gonna get open, not having to throw the 50-50 ball and hoping Corey Davis comes down with it. It's Garrett Wilson's gonna get open under trial because he always does. And I'm just gonna lay it to him where he needs to be. And you've seen it, bro. There was literally, I feel like every play I watched, Garrett Wilson wasn't open. Elijah Moore didn't get as many targets, but Elijah Moore is literally always open. These dudes cannot be covered, bro. It's actually amazing to see, and it's exciting as hell that we drafted these guys. We didn't go out and trade for Tariq Hill, who we're having to pay $30 million to, or Debo, who's more of like a running back / wide receiver who we have to give it back. No, we got these guys for the cheap for years. And they're gonna grow together, and that's gonna be something special. I'm telling you, this is gonna be something that we look back at in 10 years and we're like, wow, we had that young wide receiver duo who was able to grow together, feed off each other, complement each other, and those two will be huge reasons why we're successful in the future. So it's gonna be insane.
We haven't had that since we had Lavarnius Coles and Santana Moss. That was the last time we had 2 wide receivers grow together.
But yeah,
who was next? I was eating breakfast.
What do you mean, bro? We had Stephen Hill and Kembrell Tompkins, 2 of the best in the game.
Oh, yeah,
Kembrell Tompkins was not drafted.
Yeah, he was. We got him from New England's practice squad, I believe.
All right, you're right.
I think we had DJ.
We had the draft we had Jalen Saunders, we had Devin Smith. We drafted some studs, bro.
Yeah, bunch of wash shit breaks.
Yo, who was the draft when we took the wide receiver in the 3rd and 4th round? Are Darius Stewart and Chad Hansen?
Yeah, that was another wonderful draft class. I don't know who was next, Benny. I was eating breakfast.
Sorry, boys. Boys. I jumped in. I'll go on mute.
Hey, good. DJ, you up, bro?
Oh, good morning, y'all. I'm actually a Browns fan, but I came into the space to really give respect to the New York Jets fan base and organization overall. I like the game, the entire game. A couple of mishaps. I actually would rather lose by blowing out, by being blown out, than the way we lost yesterday. Other people kind of feel different, but if you get blown out, you can see where the mistakes are at, or even lose them like we did yesterday. Blown coverage. They're talking about the DC, but that's every time there's a mistake in the secondary, they're talking about the DC. It's no really big deal to me on that end. It's something that we can fix. But overall, just the way the Jets fought, man, for 60 minutes, taking advantage of the defense, and then the onside kick. I mean, that's basically a miracle, basically lucky and really rare to even get. So to get that and then capitalize on it, shout out to the Jets, man. And so hopefully, and I'm an underdog guy. That's part of the reason why I'm a Browns fan. So hopefully, Jets can use this to prepare themselves into a bright season. But big shout outs to the fans and shout out to the team for fighting, man. Way to go.
Yep, and DJ, listen, Jets fans have been on your side plenty of times. So I know what you're feeling, but that loss yesterday has to be just gut wrenching, man. Like, you have no business losing that, man. And respect to you for coming in, owning up, and shout out to you for supporting our fan base. And
bro, salute, bro.
Oh, for sure. Keep it up, man.
I think it was Mauricio and then Justin, and we gonna keep going. Go ahead, Mauricio.
Oh. Hey, what's up, guys? First I want to say, I think this offense can be very special if we just play our game and show up every week. I mean, I don't remember the last time we had all this young talent that can like just dominate a game on offense. The defense, they have to step up, but I think they'll be able to. It's a hard task to stop Nick Chubb and the Browns offense, but we got the Bengals next week, and it'll be nice to make them 0-3.
No, 100%. We have opportunity for this coming off a win like this. This is the type of thing that propels a young team forward. And when you're facing a team that is raveling, that's going to be forcing things. They were in the Super Bowl. Like, imagine making it to Super Bowl and not making it to the playoffs next year. The chances, if you go 0-3, the chances you make the playoffs are very, very slim. So that team is going to be pressing. They're going to be wanting to make things happen. And with that offensive line being Swiss cheese how it is, you get pressure on them. And the fact that Joe Burrow is going to be wanting to make plays downfield, and that defense is probably going to try to be a little bit more opportunistic on trying to create those game-changing plays. And we capitalize on that. There's no reason why we don't take advantage, get a lead, and make them play from behind. Like, that should be the goal. Granted, we won, but we were playing from behind most of this game. The next step and what I want to see is come out early, come out fast, play complementary football on both sides of the ball, and play with a lead. Learn how to keep a lead. That's going to be the next step. And I think we have a very, very good opportunity to do that next week versus a team that is overrated. And frankly, I don't know. They're raveling right now. They lost two terrible quarterbacks back to back. So they're scratching their head wondering what's happening. So we got to take advantage. We have to. Point blank, period. But go ahead, Justin.
Well, have the mighty have fallen left and right. Oh my God. We got lucky. They did what they needed to do to win. But I still don't give no pass to Joe Flacco. He's just being serviceable. If he steps up into the pocket every fucking time, maybe we won't have the situation we're in the situation. Like their wide receivers are always open. You just got to watch that whole film, from above, and you guys should be able to see these guys get open every single time. The ball just gets there late. He doesn't have that arm to get the ball to the receivers. Shout out to Wilson, who had a marvelous game. Overall, young core is still intact. Linebackers look as old as shit. I'm not going to give them a pass like everybody else is, though. I'm just, it's a good victory. It's about time that we get these victories that we always lose. It's the best comeback I've ever seen them win, honestly. I mean, I can't remember one right off the rip, but, there's still a lot of holes that we need to fill, and Cleveland expose those. If our linebackers keep playing like that, we're gonna lose against teams that we shouldn't be losing to, like the Ravens. We shouldn't have lost to them, but we did. So I'm happy that for once we can be proud of the team and be like, man, these guys from start to finish, they fought. They never gave up. You know, a lot of people probably turned off their fucking TVs because they got upset. They didn't get to watch those final minutes, a minute and 6 seconds. So at the end of the day, yeah, we should be happy, but we need to do better. We can't accept as fans, oh, yeah, we won. Yeah, we won. Yeah, there's a lot to cheer for. Yeah, we won. Ain't shit to cheer for until Zach Wilson's in there. Then we're gonna see what we're capable of. Then we're gonna see high hopes. Then we'll see if we have a quarterback or not. Because if we don't, it's no use to have all these weapons and we can't win. You know. So yeah, I'm happy for the win, but I want to see it again and again and again and again until we become a winning organization. So we're stepping in the right foot right now, but I want to see it again this week. I want to see it from the start, not from the finish. From the start to finish. You know, this way they know, hey, there's no comeback, or you know, we whipped their ass. There's no excuses. Oh, we won because of this. A win is a win. You know, at the end of the day, however we get it, I am happy to get it. But just for you guys that make all these bets and then when the Jets lose, you fucking disappear. I'm not gonna say no names. And own up to your shits. You know what I'm saying? That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, no, you're right. This is a good step in the right direction. We need to see more of it, though. At the end of the day, one win isn't gonna. We go out and play like shit next week. We're gonna go back to realizing that I don't know. You know how Jets fans get. I agree with everything you said, and obviously Joe Flacco's a placeholder. Joe Flacco missed some throws, and we're all obviously waiting for Zach Wilson to come back. But I'm gonna also give Joe his flowers where he deserves, because even though he missed some throws, he made some key throws, and for some reason, it just seemed like he had that kind of calming presence where he was chilling, like he wasn't too worried about what else was going on when we were down, and he threw that touchdown to Corey Davis. I mean, it's an easy throw; anyone can make that throw, but I don't know. He just had the guys believing. So I give Joe his flowers. He played a lot better this game. Obviously, areas of improvement, but listen, from what we were expecting, I think the bar was so low, he kind of exceeded that, at least for this one game. So I hope Zach Wilson's in there next week. But if I could get this same kind of game from Joe Flacco again next week versus Cincy, I don't see why we don't have a legitimate shot to beat them. Like they're not as scary as a lot of people make them out to be. But yeah, it is what it is. Let's keep going. I'm gonna go Jokes, Brittany, and Big T. Go ahead, Jokes.
I'll just be pretty brief. I just don't see. We got Cincy coming up. I want Zach Wilson, but if Cooper Rush or whatever the hell his name is, the Red Rifle, if he ended up winning that game, if Zach's not ready, he needs one more week, whatever it is. Just win that fucking game next week. Carry this momentum. Let's not don't believe the hype. Don't read the press clippings. It's one game. It's great, but let's go. Start stacking wins.
Got to 100% got to stacking wins. They lost to Cooper Rush, and I forgot who they played week one, but they lost another shitty quarterback. So I don't know. You don't need elite quarterback play. You don't need a 45-point shootout to beat them.
Trubisky, also Trubisky.
Oh, Trubisky. Yeah, so fucking amazing, right? Like, no, those are terrible quarterbacks, and they both took them down. And that shows how weak that defense is. I'm keeping it a buck. That defense is not impressive. So our offense Garrett Wilson, I need it again. Elijah, I need you to step up. Offensive line, that defensive line is okay. Step up. Carl Lawson, motherfucker, you paying you bread? I need 2 sacks. Can I see some? You playing your old team? Can I get a little bit more juice? JFM, where you been at? I need some. Quinnen, you want 18 mil a year? Let me see some. Come on. And it is what it is. So I think we're gonna continue to build all this. But at the end of the day, this is one win. We just need to hope that it propels them to the next level. But it is what it is. Go ahead, Britt.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, all season everyone says that, or, preseason and everything. Oh, Brittany's negative. Brittany's this. No, I'm not negative. I'm rational and reasonable. But let me tell you something. I'm high on this team. Do not get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. I've been saying all off season, I just want to see improvements, and I want to see a division win. Okay, and guess what? We have clearly made improvements. The way we played yesterday, as Tommy was saying, the core four. Yeah, we have some impact playmakers that we've been kind of lackluster in for all these years, since really 2015-ish. And it's homegrown talent in a sense, because it's people we drafted. Michael Carter, let me give him every single flower I own. His decisive non-hesitation is what sets him apart when it comes to the running game and being able to, find space. He does not hesitate. He knows what the hell is up. It is mind-blowing. And I was speaking about this with my brother yesterday. His presence in the locker room, his whole attitude and everything is amazing. Even though it's only his second year, it's really awesome that Hall can be around him to kind of learn and develop. So there's that. And then on to Max Mitchell. It's obviously completely devastating when you lose Becton, and then now Dwayne Brown's out, this random injury that was kind of kept hush hush. Guys, let's be happy that Max Mitchell has done pretty freaking well the last, 2 games. That's definitely something to give us a little bit of hope. I think he has a future, and this is him just learning. So I'm happy about that. To me, yes, wins are amazing. Wins are great, but they were able to keep the composure. And yeah, okay, you can say Cooper Rush isn't a great quarterback, whatever. He had a good presence of mind on how to game manage. He knew to spike the ball, this, that, and the third. So yeah, Flacco's Flacco, but I feel like all we need at this point is a game manager at the QB position to have the potential to beat the Bengals. Because, I don't know who was just saying it, they're not having some big shootouts and 30, 40 plus games. The Bengals are losing with only scoring 20-ish points from the opponent. So with that being said, let's just all be happy and positive. Obviously, Flacco isn't the main goal, but let's just be happy with the improvements that we've seen, and let's just keep growing from there. And then I'll be happy. And I'm not negative. I'm being honest. So
Hey,
there's
by the way, it's 4-8, not 4.
We said it. We said it before about Max Mitchell that if he continues his play, I hope Dwayne Brown just keeps his seat warm on the bench,
seriously.
because there's honestly no reason why they should change up the continuity of the O-line, especially, again, going into this game. Browns fans were saying that Myles Garrett's going to eat us alive. He only had 1 sack. Jadeveon Clowney had the 1 strip. That was it. And, we heard it all week. Oh, man, this offense, they're going to fucking eat you alive. And
yeah,
offensive line held up, especially during that last series. Obviously, and Max Mitchell, great awareness to recover the fumble, to dive on it, to save the fucking game.
Yep.
And then I lost my complete train of thought, but I didn't lose my train of thought with this. When we stepped on the Bengals' throats, as I'm predicting, as I keep saying, you're going to change your Twitter handle to rational to positive.
All right.
As when I changed my name from Sad Jet
to
Happy Jet. So
all right. I'll do it.
The trend has got to continue throughout the season.
Make me a believer. They need to make me a believer.
Well, I'm saying when we step on the fucking, and that's what we got to do. I keep saying it. We have to step on their fucking throats. The Bengals are reeling right now. They are reeling. Step on their fucking throats. Send Joe Burrow to his comparison to Jake Delhomme. And I want to see them pouting on the sidelines like they were yesterday, where they were pouting. That's exactly what I want to see. Obviously, I would love it to be Zach. Nothing would fucking, like, again, I'm going to the game with Benny. Nothing. I don't know what I would do. If it was Zach Wilson, I would probably take someone's beer, shotgun it, find another one, shotgun that one. I don't know. I would lose my
still
mind.
win with Flacco, though.
I will still do that with Flacco, but it would just be a different feeling with Zach Wilson coming back and just stepping on their fucking throats.
Hey, Happy, can I add one thing? Petey, one quick thing. What you said about Dwayne Brown, I actually want to remember we wanted to bring Dwayne Brown to be our swing tackle and insurance policy for Mekhi Becton. Well, now that this kid's playing well, Max Mitchell, he can go back to the role we wanted him to be originally. Get your fat ass out there and you're the fucking swing tackle. And don't mess with the line. Don't mess with the continuity. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Leave him the fuck alone, and you can go back and be the big swing tackle, and that's it.
I'm just happy the way the kid played because, again, going in throughout the week, all I heard from Browns fans was Myles Garrett's going to eat us alive, and Jadeveon Clowney's going to. These guys are going to crush us.
Hey.
And again, one sack, and then one strip.
That
was it.
That sack that Myles Garrett got, that wasn't on the tackle's fault. That was on Conklin missing the block. If he doesn't miss that block,
it was bad. Yeah, Uzama. I mean, Uzama's a good blocker, so missing him. I mean, but Conklin, you know what? Conklin wasn't terrible at blocking.
Turnovers.
At one play, he wasn't completely awful.
Yeah, but he hasn't been playing like he was in the preseason, though. Like I think Rutgers is a better blocker than all of them as of right now.
Yeah, I mean, both tight ends. Ruckert obviously missed that wide. He's got to catch that. He would have had some nice yards after that, but he dropped it. Yeah, I mean, you know what? Look, it's early on. I think Conklin will shape up. I know the main thing with Conklin, he's made some good catches, but he's just got to hang on to the football. We can't have these fumble issues all season.
And by the way, that game against the Bengals in Dallas's defense has a freaking defensive monster, man. That Michael Parsons, Jesus Christ, man. Like they couldn't stop him. The only thing stopping him was that he was tired. It wasn't for him. Forget about it. That kid is a monster. That's all I want. One of these.
What are you talking about, Justin?
Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
Isn't it Michael or
Micah? No, Micah. I mean, yeah, I agree with you, Justin. Micah Parsons completely obliterated that entire offensive line.
Hey,
And again,
Benny
that's
and
why
Happy,
I think
I got to drop off, guys. Can you guys get another co-host?
no.
All right, Petey, go ahead.
But
I'll be back on if I can. All right, I got to get some. Terrence, I'm the co-host.
Would you allow me, a Browns fan, to be a co-host?
Yeah, you have to pay Benny $100,000.
You gotta pay the kid.
No, you got to Venmo him $10.
Later, Petey.
Hey, Petey, later, bro.
Yo, you should make Big T-Rock the co-host because he was at the Jet Lounge yesterday. So let him do it. But it's not my call. See you guys.
Go ahead, T-Rock. You were next as well. Go ahead.
What up, Happy? What up, Benny? What up, Justin, Brittany, everybody else? Yeah, I was at the lounge. It was crazy. You know, it was crazy to be there for the first time and get this improbable win or whatever. But you guys need to understand, man. The NFL's a week-by-week league, man. People don't understand that, bro. Anyone can win at any given Sunday. People are like, oh, this guy's garbage. This team is this. This team is that. We don't even know who's really, aside from maybe a handful of teams that are probably going to be there, whatever. There's teams that are going to show up and become what they're going to become. You know what I'm saying? Even our team or whatever. This is our second week, overreaction last week. You know what I'm saying? Humble second week, come back, show some character or whatever. But, we're still learning. We're still learning as a team. The line is still gelling. The defense, you know what I'm saying, is developing some character. You know what I'm saying? Flacco is doing what he's supposed to do as a backup. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get some wins and set it up for Zach when he comes back.
or whatever, So there's a lot of things that we could point at that's good. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna do is go in there and learn and adjust. Learn and adjust or whatever. But you know what I'm saying? Just like, oh, Miami's this and this, that, or whatever and stuff like that. You can't say shit about some of these teams right now or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because they're doing what they're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? The NFL's a week by week league. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody just gonna dominate because most of these games are won on one possession. If y'all know football, all these games are usually won. There's no blowouts. It's who executes at the end. There's a lot, and who makes the less errors or whatever. And there was a mental error by the Browns. I don't want to hear that shit about Chubb or whatever, because if Chubb fucking stays in, it's over. No timeouts, no nothing. It's over. You know what I'm saying? Why don't you rub it in, score touchdowns, fantasy football, just came back and say, okay, you wanna just look past us and go to Pittsburgh? Okay. Now then, this is what we do. We punch you in the mouth. And don't disrespect our football team. That's exactly what the fuck just happened. You don't disrespect an NFL football team, then don't disrespect a former fucking MVP Super Bowl quarterback. I don't want to hear shit about Flacco. Give him his fucking flowers, bro. He fucking won the game. You know what I'm saying? Because he was in there and he was precise and he was hitting everybody. Everybody makes mistakes. Even our boy Garrett dropped the ball on the key where he was driving, dropped the ball. It happens. They're young. You know what I'm saying? But the good thing about it is that they don't know any better. So they're out there trying to win. So again, gonna keep it, you know what I'm saying? I just gotta say that because it's a lot of talking, but then you look like an ass when your team don't come up or whatever. Any team could beat any team. Any team could beat any team. Trust me. You saw what the Jets did to the Browns. Now we got a great opportunity against the Bengals. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's calling them overrated. Chill. You know what I'm saying? Because their line is in shambles, bro. Their line's in fucking shambles. I don't give a fuck if John Elway is back there, bro. If they can't fucking block, your quarterback looks like shit. You saw what the fuck they did in the Super Bowl to Mahomes. And Mahomes, you saw his talent going crazy, throwing all crap. He couldn't do it. He can't. It's a 53-man roster. We need everybody. Every single person on that roster needs to contribute. You guys need to understand that. I know you guys want to talk. Your opinion, go right ahead or whatever. But I'm keeping it a buck. I'm keeping it a buck. It's a week-by-week league. We can beat the Bengals. Hopefully we adjust. And our line, we'd be able to see them attack and take advantage of them not gelling. We catch them early, punch them in the mouth. Let me go get some gas down in my car.
Yo, Big T, I love the passion, bro. And I couldn't agree more. Bro. You hit it right in the nose.
He's got to get gas. He just gassed us all up. Let's go.
Yeah, facts.
You got to, bro. You got to believe. That's all. You just got to believe.
I'm not falling for that shit.
You know what Joe Flacco said, Big T-Rock? He never loses in Cleveland.
There you go. On to the Bengals. 1-1, brother.
Savage.
18-3 against the Browns now, Joe Flacco.
Yo, DJ, what up, bro? Go ahead, DJ.
Yeah, that statement from Joe Flacco, that wasn't true. That was a parody account or something like that. I think Joe Flacco's more professional than that. T-Rock hit on a great point. It's a week-to-week league, man. You can have a good game one week and a bad game the next week, or two good games and a bad game. It goes up and down. But big shout out to Joe Flacco. What I was saying prior to this game was that if the Browns could get a pick six and not throw an interception, that's a guaranteed win. We didn't get an interception, no pick six, obviously, and we whatever else didn't happen. You know what I mean? So it's like the recipe for you all to win. You see it right here. Joe Flacco, like T-Rock mentioned, Super Bowl MVP. That means he won it as well. He's a great quarterback, and he's very serviceable. 4 touchdowns, no interceptions against what I feel like is a top 5 defense. If we figure that out in the secondary, we'll be good. But mishap here and there. But I just got to give it up to the fact that they fought the whole game and they believe. Whatever the history is for the Browns or the Jets, whatever, it is what it is. I think when you come into a season, as a young player, you want to make a mark for yourself. So they know about the history that the Jets have. There's no other way around it. But the fact that they want to come out every week and play a dangerous game to represent the city in them colors, I mean, that's what it's all about. So, I mean, again, it was a good game for me, but I'm very proud of the Jets for doing what they did, for fighting. I'm proud of Joe Flacco. The defense, I mean, you held Nick Chubb under 100 yards. I mean, they got 3 touchdowns, but he didn't like break off a big one on you. I think that defense is what I was actually going to, pay attention to coming into the game. The Jets defense, I felt like that was a stronger part of your team. They held up pretty well. And so, I mean, we didn't pass the ball all over the place like that. I mean, Amari Cooper's like the one guy who made catches. We got several other guys that did something. But the defense is something I think you all can hang your hat on as well. I mean, DJ Reed, I heard about him. Sauce Gardner, I heard about him. And a lot of other guys you all got. So the one thing about it is it's a week-to-week league. And so we're looking at the division that you're all in. It's still tough. It's still tough. So, ours is as well. So hopefully you all can continue your success by beating the Bengals. But again, it's a week-to-week league. But good luck going forward. I appreciate the time.
I just want to. I see him listening. I just want to shout him out in the listener section. I want to shout out Britt's brother Anthony. I've been waiting to shout him out. So, shout out to Anthony. Next time, make sure you tell Brittany to get you some ranch with those wings, bro. Don't eat those wings plain. You need some ranch.
Oh my God. Nah, they were good enough. We didn't need that. Thank you.
Oh, I don't know who was.
I think it was Terrence. Terrence was next. Then Mark.
Yeah.
Terrence.
I can't hear him.
Yeah, I don't hear him either.
Must be a plane flying over Florida. Hold on, Terrence. You good?
Yo, Terrence, probably drop out real quick and come back in. And you'll speak right away, bro. You ain't gotta wait. You'll drop out and come back in. But go ahead, Mark, for now, while Terrence drops out and comes back. Go ahead, Mark.
Thanks. So I want to piggyback on what Big T said. This is an important point. There were a lot of mistakes. I just rewatched the game, and there were a lot of mistakes in that game. And DJ Reed said it when they were celebrating in the locker room. This team has not yet played complementary football. Like, we're seeing glimpses of what the team can be, but that was far from a perfect game. So when we're talking about the draft and the free agent acquisitions and the talent on the roster on both sides of the ball and special teams, like, if you're a fan and you find yourself on the negative side of the fence and you're like, oh, same old Jets, please take a second look at what this team is doing. All right. Good teams find ways to win football games, and bad teams find ways to lose football games. The Jets found a way to win, and they did it not through mistake-free football, and they did it with a backup quarterback. Imagine what happens when Zach comes back and is healthy. There was a couple plays where I was looking at Flacco's release, and I'm like, oh, if that were Zach Wilson in there, that's a completion because his release is so quick. Like, this will be a better team with him on the field. And I know it's one game, and we shouldn't overreact, right? But just like last week, that was one game. We should not overreact. It's going to be a growth process. There's a lot of first-year, second-year talent on this team. It's going to take time to gel and develop. So let's just be patient. Let's watch it game by game and enjoy the process, man. I'm so happy with this win. They did a great job.
Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah.
Mark, your daughter is going to be bringing us good luck this year. So just
here we go.
Throw that out there.
That's
Mark,
right.
Hey, Mark, you already know. We keep it 100, bro. You already know I'm with you, brother.
That's right. Let's go.
All right, go ahead, Terrence. See who you hear you now.
Yeah, how's this? Better?
Yeah,
Yep.
Now you're good now, bro.
Yeah, I was in my car, so it must have been something with that. But anyway, Just wanted to thank you, Benny. At least, at least you got a Victory Monday space in real early. Unfortunately, Justin's not here. He probably tried to down another beer and hurt himself. But anyway. I only came on recently, so I'm sure I'm just repeating what everybody's been saying. But just wanted to say, it appears right now that Garrett Wilson is that missing ingredient that this offense needs. It's just amazing how he was able to pick this up in his second game. And I really didn't, it sucks now that I say this, but because it's after the fact, but part of me in the back of my mind was hoping for a Jamar Chase like rookie year from him. And if he continues the way that he's playing right now, it could very well be that. It's just, to me, there were a couple of plays that we scored on where the Browns didn't know who to focus on. And as this team gets better, I just think that's what's going to happen. I mean, are they going to on a 3rd and goal from the 1? Are they going to give it to Breece Hall up the middle or Michael Carter? Or is Elijah Moore basically going to get a jet sweep? Or are they going to do a play action and throw it to Garrett Wilson or Corey Davis? It just his ability is basically going to open up everything for these other players, and that's what we needed. And it's just so great to have a player like that on our team that we've been wishing for a long time as Jet fans. I just wanted to say that. I wanted to also say that I'm tired of these referees basically holding us back. I mean, we were driving, Browns were winning 17-14. Michael Carter had a great run, and then they flag us. I'd still want to know where maybe on the all 22, Mark Torres can let us know. But I still want to know where that hold was on Fant. And got to remember too, at that time we were driving, 1st and goal from the 5. It could, besides all the heroics that we went through in the final 2 minutes, it could have been a total different game there if it's 21-17. But on the negative side, obviously, this defense still has problems, but I don't think it's necessarily Ulbrich. I didn't hear, I didn't hear anything other than Quan Alexander. I didn't hear anything about the linebackers basically making any tackles unless Chubb had like an 8-yard run and somebody finally caught him. So, and I think, you got to give credit to the Browns offensive line. They made Jacoby Brissett look like he was an all-pro sometimes. And luckily for us on that final play of the game, the final play of their drive, he finally acted like a backup where he threw it right to Ashton Davis. So, and that's, that's what we were hoping for all game when we were thinking about this, during the week. But to me, I think we can show how effective we are in the running game, with Breece Hall and Michael Carter, if this defense can hold somebody once or twice where we get a lead. And then they don't know what to do because, either we run the ball effectively or we do some play action and we just move the sticks. And then, when they move up into the box, we can throw one deep. So that's where, to me, Garrett Wilson and also, Breece Hall with his first career touchdown too on that pass. That's where these guys, along with the guys we got last year, are going to make this offense really, really hum. And then obviously the leader, Zach Wilson, whether he comes back this week or next week, want to see that development too and just see where this team flies. But, just excited like everybody else. I'm not going to be going crazy with about pounding Cincinnati like Big T-Rock said. It's 1 week at a time. I'm not over, I'm going on other people's space.
Yo,
sorry, Terrence, I hit the button in my pocket.
Go ahead, Terrence. Continue. My bad.
I'm sorry, maybe. Oh yeah, I hear you. I thought maybe I hit the mute button. I'm muting myself, But anyway, I was getting to the point where, if this team becomes successful as a fan base, as guys on spaces, let's just act the way we should. like, I mean, yeah, we've taken a lot of abuse in the, whatever year or 6 months since we really all got together and gone on other spaces. But you know what? Let's just enjoy the fact that this team is growing. And I'm excited about next week. I actually think, as somebody said, unlike Cleveland's offensive line, there are a lot of holes in Cincinnati's, and that's where this defense that we have can get to Burrow. And that to me, like, hopefully the defense will set the tone a little bit this week coming up. But you know what? They are a good team. They made it to the Super Bowl. I just don't want to get ahead of ourselves. Let's just have another great, as much as we can, because we're a young team, error-free week, and the rest will take care of itself. And if we're 2-1, we're gonna get the accolades and the flowers from the media that we deserve, and that as a fan base for the last 11 years we've been hungry for. So anyway, that's all I want to say. Again, just great to have somebody like Garrett Wilson, basically, showing up in just his second game with 2 TDs. And I just think when defenses focus on him, it's going to open it up for Elijah Moore and Corey Davis and the tight ends and then the other players. And that's what we need. We just need so many options that these defenses don't know what to do.
Yeah, nah, bro. We're granted, I'm gonna give flowers where they deserve. Drake London is doing good things in his first 2 NFL games, but Lord, he blessed us when he allowed Garrett Wilson to fall to us. That kid is special. People don't know yet, but they will know very soon that you need a game plan around Garrett.
Hey Benny, to your defense of what you're saying right now, there's a dispute about.
Did you call him Vinny?
Benny, I said Benny.
Oh, I thought you said Vinny. My bad.
Oh man, really happy? Really?
That sounded like Vinny. That's.
Go ahead, Justin.
Thing is that, right? Drake London is getting the ball all the time because he's in Atlanta. Where, if you guys didn't notice that Corey Davis wasn't in the game as much as the first game. Like Garrett was out there a lot more, which he should be. They just need to feed this guy the ball, man, because he's gonna open Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore was open almost every freaking time because they can't listen. We have something special. I've said it before. I'm saying 10-7, but man, the way I'm looking at this offense is like I'm looking like something special. Like they have something very special. And the scary part about it is that I'm going for Tennessee tonight. I know the odds are against me a lot, but man, if Tennessee could pull off a victory tonight, man, poor Buffalo. Poor Buffalo.
Hey, Justin. What's up, fellas? I just wanted to come on here real quick, and I've been listening this whole time, and it's just so much emotions, man. Like, I haven't even been able to get on here to talk to y'all about the game because just watching that game yesterday, it was just so much going on. But to your point, Justin, like Buffalo is a really good, team, but they're going into this game as the major favorite. And if Tennessee could pull this off, it would be amazing for us. And I felt a little hurtful watching the Ravens yesterday just blow that game the way that they did, because it would have given us a chance to be, at the top of the division, even if Buffalo was to win tonight, because the Patriots are 1-1, and then the Dolphins would have been 1-1 if they would have lost that game. So all these teams, that are playing, our division opponents within the next couple of weeks, they're playing some good teams that anything can happen, man. Anything can happen. Yesterday was just a great win. It's a young team. It's really just like just watching them go through the motions of just like people not believing in them. Like you guys been saying all morning, like these guys are not used to losing. They're not used to the culture that we've had in the past here, so they could care less about that. They just want to be able to bring something different here. They hear all the talk, they see it. They're on social media. Even if they don't want to see it, they see it. And yesterday was just one of those wins where it just like let's try to stack them up. Like it was a big last week. Let's go in there at home against the Bengals team that's struggling offensively, with that line. And let's go 2-1. Let's bring that defense. What's up?
Not. If we can start the game the way we finish the game, every fucking game, we become a problem to people. Because now they're playing catch up, and now we can run any type of defense we want against them. The problem is that we start so slow, and we don't start using these young weapons that we have. So it's everybody's young, from the coordinators to the head coach. So therefore, it's going to take a little time, but I don't want to hear about next time or nothing like that. Fuck, start from the giddy up right there and then bam, here, hold these 7. Then they come back and score, hold this 11-7. That's what we got to do. We act like we won in the league for a while. That's the way we play. That's the way we start off slow. I don't want to see that anymore.
Yeah,
And that has to do with the quarterback.
You're right. You're totally right, bro. That was even a problem last year. I forgot the stat, bro, but I remember it was a crazy stat that we were getting outscored in the first quarter, like some insane number.
Oh yeah,
that's been like a legitimate problem for a long time, where we don't start slow. I mean, we start slow and then we start fighting back, but most of the time, it's too late, too little, too late. And that's I truly believe that's the next step in our progression as a football team. Is okay, cool. We pulled out a win. Again, it's only one win. But now let's start how we finished. Like that needs to be the same thing. I want to see. I'm tired of going out, receiving the ball, and going for a fucking 3 and out. Hell no. Give me the ball. Let's go out and fucking score a touchdown. And I really want to see this team start playing with a lead. Then you're gonna see the likes of really like what Breeze Hall is. You're gonna really see what Michael Carter is when we're playing with a lead, and those boys is gonna be getting all the touches. Like that's what our offensive line through 2 games has been run blocking really well. You play with a lead, you give those monsters the ball, and that's the next progression. That's truly the next progression. That's what I'm looking to see more of. And I truly believe next week is a perfect opportunity to do so with a team that is backpedaling, a team that's trying to figure it out, a team that don't know what the fuck was going on right now. They don't know. They lost, and they're gonna be pressing. So when a team is pressing and they're gonna be trying to force things, you capitalize and you play with a lead, and then guess what? They're gonna be pressing some more, pressing some more, and we jump out on them early. That's what the Cowboys did, and the Bengals never recovered. So that's exactly what I'm expecting now next week.
Benny, and the thing with that's crazy is like our D-line hasn't even made a big impact in those 2 games yet. One of the big plays yesterday was like, when Carl Lawson got that sack, like it was 3rd down, so it ended up being like 3rd and like 20 something or 18 or something like that. That was a really good play throughout the game, but the D-line hasn't even shown that, to be able to get to the quarterback and finish those plays, because they've gotten there, but quarterbacks have been able to escape. Lamar Jackson escaped. Yesterday, there were a few times where Jacoby Brissett was able to escape the pocket. So this defense needs to take advantage of the O-line of the Bengals that's been struggling and really come in and go out there and get 4, 5, 6 sacks and, get some turnovers. That will help greatly. Like right now, I feel really confident with the way that the offense was able to play yesterday. Last week was not I didn't feel that way. And, they really surprised me with the way that they were able to come out early in the game, have have an effective drive. Even if we didn't score, it was still a good drive. Even on a strip sack by just David Clowney, that drive, we were about to score another touchdown. So that gave me a lot of confidence, in the way that the offense was able to play.
Yes, sir. 100%. 100%.
Like
Our
you said,
offense is
Benny.
finally clicking.
Like you said, we haven't been able to run the ball because we've been behind the sticks every game. If we want to be able to run the ball, like look at Cleveland. The reason Cleveland stuck with the run so long is because they played with a lead the entire game. If you want to take a team out of their game plan and a running team, and you want them to stop running, get up on them, force them to pass. Well, that's where we've been at since Robert Sala got here. If we start playing with a lead, we'll be able to start grinding teams down. But we got to start quicker.
Yeah, nah, I definitely agree with that. And defensively, like watching the defense yesterday, um, stopping the run is becoming like an issue. I mean, obviously it wasn't an issue against the Ravens, but you're gonna play certain teams that are extremely physical in the AFC and in the NFC, and they have a constant running back. What are you gonna be able to stop that? It's different compared to when a team has one guy putting that guy out there and he has to take all of the load. But when you're gonna deal with two running backs, obviously you're not gonna deal with the same type of guys, when it comes to Kareem Hunt and and what's his name? And Chubb, but like it there are really good guys in this league that are gonna make an impact in the running game, and we have to start stopping that because if the team is running the ball on us, it's going to make it that much harder for us to be able to get our running game going, especially if we're not in the lead to where we have to throw the ball. And I think this running game can really be helpful to us as well because, we saw the way that LaFleur is able to use Michael Carter and Brees Hall and put them in the game at the same time. Put one out in the flare or put them out, roll them out, put them in motion as a receiver. So I'm liking the creativity behind it. And the offense, like I said, showed me a lot yesterday. Like watching that game to be able to say, okay, you know what? Before the game, if somebody told me the Browns were putting up 30, I would have been okay. We're losing the game because I didn't see the offense performance up to that level. As far as week one goes. But for the offense to go out there and score this many points and come back the way that they did, I got to feel confident going into week 3. But let's see if Zach starts or not. I'm not sure how you guys feel about that, or if they will allow him to come back this week or give him another week to rest. But regardless, I'm going to feel confident, especially if it's Joe that's going to be in there, going in as QB1 next week.
Yeah, that's going to be obviously the biggest. What we're all going to have our eyes on is Zach Wilson practice last week. So it'll be literally 2 weeks of practice at this point, where if he's practicing, and I know he only did 7-on-7s and whatever, but if he's able to practice and get in on 11-11s this week, to me, you can't baby him too much. Like, obviously, you put the knee brace on, like, make sure the knee is protected, but you can't baby him too much. You gotta let him go out there. It's just, if he's playing 11-11, that's going to be a really good indicator if he's playing or not. They might just baby him, though. It is what it is. I don't necessarily agree with it, but hopefully we see him out there this week. But even if he's not, if Joe Flacco performs how he did this past week against Cincinnati, we're going to have a really good chance. And granted, because Cincinnati's defense is worse than the one we just faced right now. So I don't see why he can't replicate that. And their offense is a little bit more explosive. But again, that offensive line is so Swiss cheese, where this defensive line that we allocated so much money to needs to put their stamp on this game early. Get Joe Burrow on his back early. We don't have Micah Parsons, but that's what the Cowboys did. They got him on his back early, disrupted their whole game plan, and then they were lost. I think that was it. The game was won and lost right there early when they were disrupting him. You do that with this defensive line that we were so high on, boom, we're in great position to win this game, 100%. Go ahead, Petty.
Yeah, to talk more about Joe Burrow, did you see that clip of him basically yelling at his sideline, "No more empty sets," meaning that he didn't trust his the 5 men in front of him to be able to block anybody on the Dallas line? We got to be able to do that to him again. We need to make him see ghosts the way Sam Darnold saw ghosts. That's the only way it's going to work in our favor. And then and to be fair, we went up against two of the best running backs in the league. Not the best 1-2 punch, two of the best running backs in the league. And yeah, they both put up about 50 yards rushing each. But we were able to, when we took the lead, that was when we were able to get them out of the running game, and that's when they started making mistakes. When we forced them to, when they were running the ball, they were basically just tearing us apart. But that's going to be expected when you have offensive line like that, even if they didn't have Jack Conklin available, because that team is built off the run. It's built off of Nick Chubb, and everyone knows it, and they still can't stop it in the league. Like, those two running backs are special, but we found a way to make it work. And the fact that our defense showed up when it counted, even though they were bending, sometimes almost breaking, but they didn't break when they could have. Because as soon as I know there was a bunch of us that as soon as you saw that what is it, scramble by Jacoby Brissett, thinking like, fuck, they're gonna get down and get a field goal. But the very next play, um, Ashton Davis got his only snap in the game and showed up big for us. He probably pictured Jacoby Brissett as Tua, even though Tua is killing him right now. But it is what it is.
Yeah, 100%. That we made our defense. They put up 30 points, but and it wasn't pretty. But our defense held when they needed to, when they were about to get. I know, when they got a first down, and it was like, oh, it's over. But we ended up pushing them back for 2 tackles for loss, where they had to give us the ball back. And I don't know, the defense did what they needed to do in those right moments. But yeah, overall, really good team win. At this point, we've been talking for about almost 3 hours. So if anyone got something to say, you can come up right now, talk about it. Alex, I know you up here right now. You haven't really said anything. If you got something to say, but if anyone got anything to say, pull up right now. We can talk about it, discuss it, and I'm probably going to end it. But yeah, it is what it is. Let's see. But yeah, all right. So I think.
Good.
Oh, go ahead, Mike. What's up, Mike? Or Easy. What's up, Easy?
What up?
You think so?
Bye, Easy.
You think so, Easy? Man,
Bye,
he a
bye,
Dolphin fan.
Easy.
He hype right now. Go ahead, Mike.
Thank you, guys. Real quick, because I'm at work, but I just want to give a shout out to the O line. The pregame, everybody was just talking about Miles Garrett, about his record that he's gonna get with 2 sacks. He did get one. Uh, Somehow it was a mistake. Nobody blocked him. But besides that, it was a very good job by the O line holding him off. We all know he's a superstar. So I just want to give a shout out to the O line.
Good stuff, bro.
The O-line did what it needed to do. And that was, I thought they were just gonna have to contain him somehow. They pretty much took him out the game. Even Max Mitchell in his snaps when Myles Garrett was lined up against them on the game-winning touchdown pass, Myles Garrett was lined up against them, and Myles Garrett came off the snap hot, and Max completely took him out of the picture. Huge. Shout out to the offensive line. You're 100% right. Go ahead, Joe.
All I got to say is 2 things. 1, go Jets. 2, I know Bengals are endangered species, but fuck that, we're hunting this week, boys. Get your guns. Let's go.
Get your 30-06s ready. We're going hunting, boys. We're going hunting.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Joe, you just came back up. What up, Joe?
Oh, it just put me right out there. What's going on?
Yeah, what's
Nothing.
going on, bro?
Oh, just wanted to listen, man. Just finished up a boring ass work meeting, so I'm just going back to relaxing and enjoying this fine victory Monday. So someone else can pop in real quick.
Yeah, I think we've been talking ball for about 3 hours this morning. So this was solid. I appreciate all y'all pulling up, talking football, enjoying this victory Monday. Continue to enjoy it. We're gonna continue to build on this. And yeah, I look forward to next Sunday. Obviously, probably by Wednesday, I think we're all going to be talking Cincinnati, and we're going to be over this victory. But definitely enjoy it. We needed it. We deserved it. And hopefully this team can continue to build on it. So, yeah, keep a lookout for all the stuff that we're doing here in the Jet Lounge. I know Tanad and PD got a show later today. Make sure to tune in for that. I know they have. I'm pretty sure Matt O'Leary is going to be a part of that. Part of that show. I don't know if Tanad, you want to plug in your show real quick? You can do that.
Yes, sir. Matt Delivery's coming on with me and PD tonight at 8:30. So tune in, fellas. As always, like Benny stated, we appreciate everything that y'all do for the Jet Lounge, man. Everything that we do that you guys are a part of. Justin, I wasn't able to make it yesterday, but I really wish I was there at the event to be able to meet you, man. But we'll definitely link up. But yeah, tonight, me and PD, there's a lot to talk about, man. Like Benny and you guys have been talking about all morning. It's a lot to talk about, and I'm looking forward to talking to you guys about this W that we got yesterday. So just tune in tonight, and thank you as always.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, like I said, I appreciate y'all.
Hey, Benny, can I say one thing?
Oh, go ahead, Joe.
Wonderful job today, man. Stepping in, taking over the Monday show for Justin. It's a big shoes to fill, especially on a after a win like that. So hat tip, man. Great job.
Man, I definitely appreciate that. There was I was texting Justin early this morning. I was like, it's gonna be weird as hell not having you right here. So me and Justin do a pretty good job of kind of like bouncing off ideas off each other and kind of feeding off each other. And I was like, damn, I'm not gonna have that no more. But I'm happy for my man Justin. He got a new job. He's opened up his Sundays, a lot more family time for him. So he's doing a lot of good things over there. But yeah, I'm here. I appreciate that support, bro. And this is only the beginning. I got a lot of cool. I mean, this is my first show, obviously doing it by myself, but I got a lot of cool ideas that I'm gonna start putting out there of new content and new different ideas. So definitely stay tuned, and I appreciate y'all. So all that being said, yeah, I'll talk to y'all later and enjoy the Victory Monday, y'all.